Good morning, or whatever other time it is for you, and welcome to Survival Live. Of course, this is my live stream series where we go through all of Survival Minecraft live, of course, on YouTube here. And you can always watch all the VODs that we have of this series. I believe this is actually the 10th stream, and all the streams end up being about 3 hours long. So there's a lot of content here to watch. I guess we'll probably end up completing about 30 hours of Survival Live content at the end of this stream, so definitely a lot of nice videos and background things to watch if you're interested in that. Either way, I welcome everyone to this stream. Let's give some shout outs. We have here Centric Fortnite, we have Angry Bird Boy, Gluten Free Soul Kit, Channel K Joshing Around, Hexa Cruiser, Sam Decam, Sudden Death, Tori, Deathlock FF, Ans, and a whole lot more. So thank you to everyone for joining, and hopefully you're all having a great day. And of course, what Survival Live is not complete without some amazing survival Minecraft gameplay, not just of course our starting stream here. So we're going to switch over to Minecraft and you can kind of see what's going on. So in the last stream we created a beacon, and we also gathered the materials for the beacon. We actually got a lot done in one stream. Let me just make sure all my settings are good here. I haven't been able to get Optifine to work, I'm not sure why, but either way, it's becoming daytime here on the stream, and also we even just got a super chat, and that super chat is from Brandon Gentry, and it says, looks like it's about that time of the week. It is indeed, it is the time to start the stream, which is of course noon, EST, 9 AM PST, or whatever time that is for you, wherever you are all around the world. And unlike the amazing news of us starting a stream, the not so amazing news is that we do not have any elytra durability. Well, I guess we have 22, but that's not very much. And so the other piece of not the best news is the fact that our pickaxe is efficiency 4, and to instant mine stone we need efficiency 5. So our goal for today is going to be getting that efficiency 5 pickaxe, maybe a couple of them, and as well as that, starting to mine out this area to prepare it for our base. But the good news is that's not actually going to be very boring, because one of the best ways of getting XP in Minecraft is the deep dark. So we're going to start by grabbing our shulker box over here and leaving all the unmined materials here behind, and we're going to travel back to our base, I guess on foot. Now we could be very risky because it's always kind of fun to do that on stream and fly for a little bit. We have 22 durability, we have literally 22 seconds. So let's see what we can do in literally 22 seconds. This is not a good idea, I would never recommend this. Our literal timer till we die instantly from fall damage is ticking down here, so let's see if we can make it. We are on 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and we made it just in time with 4 durability left. So there we go, that's pretty cool. And we're now back home. It's actually kind of funny because on my SMP, and you can join that if you want, we'll be having a new season starting. I'll be live streaming that next week. Someone fully recreated this base. They didn't, I don't think, put all the decorations here, but they did have some of them. And they even have this little area in the cave here with my little brewing setup and enchanting area. And this is, of course, by no means a good build. I just thought it was quite funny that they, of course, fully copied this little base I made on top of the mountain here in Survival Live. But that's the point of what we're doing now. We're trying to take this sort of, you know, not the best little starter base we have here, and convert it into an amazing, amazing mega base, hopefully. That's going to take us a long time to build, but I'm hoping once it's done, it'll definitely be worth it. So basically, we can look around and see what we have in terms of current pickaxes, current enchantments. Maybe we could combine some things. That could definitely work. I don't think we actually have as much as you'd think. So we do have some unbreaking and fortune. In terms of efficiency though, and of course this would have to be efficiency diamond, we do not have what we need. And so we did have a lot of diamonds earlier. I forget exactly how. We might have been mining? Yes, I think we were strip mining a while ago, but either way, however we got the diamonds, we have them. And so we're going to use these and craft them into some pickaxes to sort of enchant with. We can also check for what books we have. We may have a couple books here. No efficiency, I don't think. We do have Silk Touch, that's pretty good, but we'll grab that. And so we'll go over here, and we'll go this way. And again, hello to everyone who's just sort of joining on the world here, joining on the stream, of course. I guess you're not really on the world, but you can watch me in the world, and hopefully everyone's having a great day today. Now we have 6 diamonds here in our inventory. Let's get ourselves the sticks to craft this, and of course, you know, sticks aren't going to be our issue in terms of that. I'll turn off the automatic crafting because I prefer manual. There's a great question actually. What do you prefer more? Do you like automatic crafting, you know, the recipes, you just click it and it lays it out for you? Or do you like manual? I guess just for me, I like manual. Probably the reason why is I have every single crafting recipe inside of Minecraft fully memorized, and so because of that I don't have a need for the automatic, and I think it's kind of fun to place in the items manually. But of course most people don't have every you know, one of the hundreds of recipes memorized, and so because of that sometimes I will use the automatic. It is a bit quicker. But yeah, I'd love to hear people's opinion on that. What do you usually use, automatic or manual? Now this shows Silk Touch, that's obviously good, so we will take that. I'm hoping that we have efficiency with that, then we can combine that with another pickaxe that also has efficiency. So we'll click that. Oh, look at that, efficiency 4, so that is what we want. We need another pickaxe that has efficiency 4. Oh, this one does. Look at that. So all we need to do now is just get a little bit more XP. Now we should switch out this broken elytra, so don't use it by accident, because we should not be using that elytra. It's of course fully broken, almost fully anyway. Suddenly, you know, all these elytra I got when they're maybe at 80 durability, I had them in this chest, and I keep using them lower and lower, and now it's like, well, you know, 17 durability isn't that low, or 23 isn't that low, but really I'm working it down to the seconds we have left of flight, because we definitely need a mending villager, so maybe that could be a goal for today as well, is a mending villager. But basically, we're going to get ourselves a hoe, and we do have some hoes around here. I think I saw some in the enchanting chest right over here, so we'll grab those. This one is almost broken, so we could do another one, or we could just get an iron hoe, maybe just an iron hoe. Iron hoes, I believe, can instantly mine. Oh, here's a diamond one actually right here. We'll just use that. Normally, I would enchant this even if I didn't have 30 levels, just because even something like Unbreaking 1 is going to give us massively more durability, but in this scenario, we're not going to do that. So let's fall down back here. And yeah, this is kind of our XP gathering area. You can tell that, of course, because all of the sculk blocks are gone. Not all of them, but most. And I wouldn't always suggest actually doing this. Something I would sometimes suggest... Oh, looks like I broke the ladder there. Something I would sometimes suggest doing, if I were you, is maybe keeping a bit of deep dark as is if it's right next to your base, and then going a little bit further out to mine it for XP, because you can sort of enjoy the look of the deep dark. And we put the ladder there on the glass. I actually believe that ladders didn't used to be able to be put on glass inside of Minecraft, which is kind of an interesting little fact there, but now they definitely can. So we'll go around here, gain ourselves some quick XP. I think there may be a couple shriekers around here, but I don't think they're very close. So we should be good in terms of, let's say, accidentally summoning in the warden. And of course, we have so many warning levels at this point anyway. I'm not afraid of the warden at all, even if it does summon in. So we're good there. And we'll mine this up. We do now have 30 levels, but these go so quick. What we may do is we may just mine until we have 33. That's probably the best idea, honestly, just because, of course, this is so quick. Now, generally, you don't want to go too much higher than level 30, and the reason why, of course, is that after that, it costs you a lot more XP gain to actually get yourself another level gained. So let's say it's more expensive to get from level 30 to 31 than it is to get from level 29 to 30, and of course, that's kind of exponential. So that's why, like, it's almost impossible to get over, let's say, a couple hundred levels, and even then, that's gaining so much XP that there's a lot wasted there. So we're going to mine all of this out here, and we're almost at 32. So we're getting there pretty quickly. Of course, even on the walls here, there's lots of this we can mine out and get the sensors there. And we have a super chat from Diana Rocks 1234 space 5, and it says, "Hi, good morning. How are you?" Well, good morning to you too, and I am doing great. I'm having a great day. I've already recorded 2 videos today, which is not normal for me, but we've got some amazing videos coming up for December. December is, of course, the big month for Minecraft, for YouTube, because people have more time off and just sort of time for celebration. So I have a ton of exciting videos that are going to be coming out, and I won't spoil what they are, but I will give you the hint that a lot of them focus on speed and doing things efficiently, and I think that everyone's going to really enjoy those. So I've recorded some of those today. I'll record one more of them today, and I recorded the other 3 yesterday. I tend to sort of make videos in big batches, and these should be coming out sort of throughout the entirety of December, along with all my other regular uploads and live streams. But thank you for asking, and I'm glad, hopefully anyway, you're having a good day too. Alright, so level 33, there we go. We are going to go up the ladder right here, and of course at the top of the ladder, we'll be able to enchant these things and get ourselves that efficiency 4. So again, if you're just heading into the stream now, you're wondering what's going on, basically we're trying to get an efficiency 5 pickaxe. Now it doesn't have to be just efficiency 5, but efficiency 5 is really important because we do have a beacon. We're trying to instantly mine stone and, andesite, diorite, granite, all those things. We can only do that with an efficiency 5 diamond pickaxe or higher, so for instance netherite efficiency 5. And of course also that haste 2 beacon. We do have the haste 2 beacon. We need that efficiency 5 pickaxe. So we have efficiency 4 and silk touch. We're getting together now the ingredients for efficiency 5 and silk touch. We already have one pickaxe that has efficiency 4 and silk touch. We're going to combine this with the one that hopefully will have unbreaking 3 and efficiency 4. But we do have a guaranteed efficiency 4 in the crafting table. If that was more times you ever heard efficiency 4 in your life, then sorry about that. But we'll go up the stairs here, or the ladder. We should be up fairly soon. And of course, it's always so fun going, it's kind of fun going down the ladder. I'm not sure how fun it is going up the ladder, but it is always fun, that massive drop. And we have a very generous super chat here from Diana Rocks for $50, and it says, Merry Early Christmas. Well, Merry Early Christmas to you too. I always love the holiday season, the Christmas season. It's such an amazing time. Where I live in Canada, it's always quite snowy and nice, but it's not maybe as deadly wintry cold as, let's say, January is. So Merry Christmas to you too, although it's, I think yesterday, I guess, was the 1 month till Christmas, since it was the 25th of November. Here we're the 26th. I guess merry, or not be merry, but happy late Thanksgiving to all the Americans watching. I know about half my audience is American, so I'm sure a lot of people in the chat right now, a lot of people watching back, maybe recently had Thanksgiving, so there's that. Something you may not know is that in Canada, Thanksgiving is actually on a different day. It is in October. But either way, we're at the top of our ladder now, and we are going to enchant this pickaxe. And so we're going to go over here, and of course we have the levels necessary, the pickaxe, and we have the guaranteed enchant. Now, based on what I know with enchantments, I'm guessing, and I always like doing this because you can kind of guess it on chance, I'm guessing it's only efficiency 4, but we'll find out. No, it actually had fortune 3, which is kind of unfortunate because we want fortune 3, but we also want efficiency 5. So what we may do is we might try and see what the next enchantment is, and then see if we can get just an efficiency 4 pickaxe, no fortune included, because we'll have to lose either the fortune or the silk touch, which I don't want to do because we don't have a villager trading hall yet. So getting that efficiency 4 and getting the silk touch and fortune, that is not going to be as easy. This shows unbreaking 3. We do need unbreaking 3 on the next pickaxe. So what we can probably do, because we have a lot of levels, it seems wasteful. It isn't really, since what do you really use diamonds on at the end of the day anyway? We're going to craft one more pickaxe, and we are going to try for that one. But with this one, we're going to be extra picky. So basically, if we do not get exactly what we want on this pickaxe, what I'll do is I'll disenchant it, get more levels, and do that over again. I'm hoping we're getting unbreaking 3, efficiency 4, that's the goal. So let's see. Hey, we did, look at that. That's perfect. It's always nice when you kind of want something like that and we get it exactly how we want it. So there we go. We now have all the necessary ingredients to merge those. And you know what? Although we're going to move out of this place pretty soon, let's just move the anvil into the enchanting area because that makes a lot more sense. Let's combine this. We have efficiency 4, unbreaking 3, efficiency 4, fortune 3. Actually, no, not fortune 3, silk touch. We could do fortune 3. However, I want to keep that because silk touch is going to be better for stone. And I would always suggest naming your pickaxes when you're combining them. I'll call this Silky or something like this. Just something that sort of tells you what it is, because most people, if they're playing Minecraft the best way, will have Fortune and Silk Touch on their hotbar. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure to name those pickaxes when you're enchanting them to just differentiate those mostly. Now you'll notice too, 11 levels here. 13 levels here. So we'll want it where it's only 11 levels. You always want to switch those. And then of course we'll rename this like this. There we go, 12 levels. That is perfect except for mending. So I'll put that right there. This is definitely going to be a long-term pickaxe in this world. And it is now nighttime. What we can do is we can sleep, and in the morning we can either look for a second efficiency 5 pickaxe. Since we don't currently have mending, we'll have to kind of mine till this almost breaks. Or we could just go straight over there. Alright, so let's take a look over here. We do have on us this efficiency 4, fortune 3. Now what we could do is we could again see what the next enchantment's looking like. It says efficiency 4. So we're only at 15 levels. I think honestly, it seems a bit boring maybe, but I think doing a bit of, well, it's not really boring actually, deep dark exploration. Exploring the deep dark a bit more, getting our levels back up to 30, and then we can get ourselves a perfect fortune pickaxe and hopefully a perfect silk touch pickaxe. So I'll grab some torches. We want to do that bit more deep dark exploration. Actually quite an adventurous and fun thing to do in the game. Not really boring at all. Probably more boring, or probably less boring than, let's say, mining out hundreds of stone blocks. So that's a good thing. And we'll go over here and grab this. And I guess sort of within Minecraft there's kind of some variety of what you're getting in terms of entertainment value. Of course, part of Minecraft is fun because it's immediately fun. Let's say raiding a bastion or maybe raiding a woodland mansion. There's just so many things to do. It's an adventure. It's very set out what you should be doing and sort of a very base level of enjoyment there. It's going to be just, you know, naturally fun. Whereas let's say right here, we'll have to maybe do some grinding, mining out tons of stone. It's also fun, but it's fun in a different way. And so that's sort of an interesting thing about Minecraft, and I think that's a trick to playing a long-term world and not getting bored of it, is to sort of mix what you're doing between that sort of short-term satisfaction fun and also the more long-term, like let's say a massive build project or maybe lots of resource collection. Alright, so we have the torches, we have the diamond hoe. Anything else we could use? I'm not sure. I guess some wool, if we run into some shriekers, is always a good idea, right? Just a little bit of wool can be a good protection. I want to build one of my wool micro farms. If you haven't watched me for a decent number of months, I guess, maybe 4 months ago? I'm not sure exactly when, but about 4 months ago, I made a series about what I call micro farms. And these are 20 farms across all of the videos. It's 21 farms across 5 videos. And designed each one of the farms myself, or at least modified the design. But I'm pretty sure I designed them all. And basically, it was quite a while ago. But anyway, they're all quite efficient, but they're also quite small. So the idea behind the micro farms is that, you know, most people in Minecraft don't necessarily need a farm that's going to produce for them thousands upon thousands of items an hour. It's just kind of useless to put that much effort into it. And so a micro sugarcane farm, micro bamboo, you know, micro wool, these things can be small, but powerful enough for a single player world and just a one player. And so basically that's what that series is about. But one of the best farms, probably my favorite one of the series that I designed, is this wool farm. And this wool farm is super efficient. It's also very, very easy to build. And so I think that's the wool farm we'll make later on for, of course, more deep dark raiding, but also perhaps if we want to use the bed method for doing some netherite mining, we could also get that micro farm for that as well. But anyway, we're going to go over here and we're going to keep mining this out. Even wool is a building block. You know, wool used to be, if you've played Minecraft for a long time or a Minecraft veteran, which I know a lot of people who play are a Minecraft veteran, you'll definitely know how popular wool is to build with, or at least was to build with. You know, everyone would use wool. It was only, in fact, it was literally the only block in the entire game that could be dyed all the colors. I know like things like dog collars could be dyed later on, but of course as a block, I think the only other block that was added after that initially, of course then there was the terracotta and the stained glass, but because of that, wool was really popular in builds, and I think maybe because of it being so popular then, that's why nowadays it's not used as much. You know, I feel like if concrete was the old block and wool was added later on, then maybe wool would be the popular thing, just because it seems newer and more up to date. And basically, we actually mined a diamond there. That's sort of evidence of the power of the deep slate mining, or of the deep dark mining, that is, skulk mining. You do get a lot of things that are shown because there's not that air exposure rule. And I talk about this almost every stream, I guess, but it's the fact that, of course, when you're in the deep dark here, very, very good place to mine. You get XP. You also get yourself all the exposed ores. So it's definitely a good thing. And we'll go over this way. Someone said that they did not know that you could dye dog collars. It's kind of surprising to me, but it's still, I guess I'm glad I was able to teach you that. You know, it's amazing to me how many different things in the game there are. People always think about Minecraft as being simple, and you know, sort of certain things as well, just everyone knows that. But at the end of the day, that's not really how it works. There's so much to the game, and if someone focuses on one part of it, then they may not know parts of other bits. And of course, you know, you can also dye cat collars, and you can dye sheep, of course, with wool. In terms of mob uses, I actually had a dye guide, which is kind of interesting. And that was not that long ago. I think that was only probably just a week ago, actually, I made that. So if anyone's interested in more uses for dyes and maybe things I didn't know that they could do with them, also fireworks are in that video. I have a really condensed guide with jam-packed full of information about dyes. But the point of this stream is not necessarily to recommend videos, just of course, you know, if something is relevant to the topic, I want to help people get the resources they need. So we're level 25 already. It's crazy how quickly we can gain levels this way, and it's also quite a fun way of gaining levels. I really enjoy this. And even on the roof here, you know, it doesn't look too ugly. It's kind of a nice way of clearing this out. I'll put down some more torches so we can see better, and we can mine through all these skulk blocks just like this. And I don't think, I hope this hose is going to last long enough, because the hose is breaking pretty quick. We can of course always mend it later, but for now we don't have that ability, so I don't really want to spend too many diamonds mining this out. Iron does work. Iron can instantly mine this. We just don't have any iron on us, but we're at level 27. So we can go over here, and we can of course continue to mine out all the blocks. And if you're wondering how some people have green names, they can put emojis in chat, and they also have a badge next to their name. That means that they are part of the I Squad, which is my channel membership program. You can join that with the join button next to my subscribe button, and you'll get access to that, and it definitely makes live streams a lot more fun. Either way, we're going to keep going through here. At level 28 now. Now this is at 116 uses. If your tool's at a low durability, always check the uses sort of maybe a bit compulsively, just because it's important to do that, or it'll break. And you don't want to break a diamond tool, especially something like a diamond hoe, because diamond hoes are a bit more difficult to get than other diamond tools later on, as it's a bit rarer for villagers to sell them. They will still sell them, you just have to kind of work a bit more for it. So 45 here. We might have to start breaking them by hand. 36. Again, we're breaking so many at once here as well. 26. And we'll go down to like 10 or something. We don't want to be too risky. 18. And we'll mine this and go through here. And that is at 11, and that is at 9. So we'll just keep that as is. Again, if we had iron on us, we could use that. I guess technically, if we got some fuel, we could probably find some iron, but I think our levels are so high. It seems a bit stupid, but honestly, just punching in this and breaking it, our levels are going up very, very high, which is good. And so we'll go through here and we'll break these blocks. And yeah, it's even crazy, literally just by hand. Seems a bit stupid, but you know, we're actually getting levels really quickly, so it is a good method for sure. And we'll go through here and do this. And someone says that I have another hoe, and you're right, actually I do. It's Silk Touch though, that's the problem with this one. So we can mine it, but you'll see we don't get any XP, we just get these as blocks. But that was a good observation there. Yeah, but unfortunately it is a Silk Touch one, which is good actually if we want to get these for decoration. We're just trying to break them with our fist there. So we're going to go through here and mine all these blocks, just like this. And I guess we're almost there at level 30. Of course, that'll give us access again to an efficiency 5, fortune 3 hoe, or a fortune 3 pickaxe. We already have some hoes. We'll go through here and we'll mine that. We just have a couple more. We'll go through here, and welcome to Darsimist to the iSquad. Thank you for joining that, and hopefully you enjoy it. We also have, if you have your Discord and YouTube linked, which you can do through Discord, and there's actually a diamond ore back here, you can have a special membership on my Discord automatically done. Oh, that's a big one. And you'll get access to a VIP section on my Discord. Also, if you boost my Discord, you'll get a VIP section you can access on there as well. Alright, so we've 10 diamond ore actually, deep slate diamond ore. We could mine it now, we could mine it later. Doesn't really matter though, we are now at level 30, which is our only real goal down here. We weren't looking for diamonds, but we got them. And the good news is, of course, there's a point where it was a little bit worrying or just a bit silly in a sense to craft all those different pickaxes. But because we now have these 10 diamond ore that we mined down here when gaining more experience, it's not going to be an issue whatsoever. Of course, we'll keep going back up here. And someone said I should make an XP farm. I definitely should make an XP farm, and that is going to be one of our goals soon. XP farms combined with villager trader, sort of villager trading halls, are what will take a world from early game to late game, definitely, because then you can easily get all of your levels, easily get your perfect armor, perfect tools. Netherite mining too is something we should definitely look at in the future, probably once we're just a little bit further along, because it's not super important to get netherite, but it is something that's quite useful and is nice, especially if we're, let's say, raiding a lot of structures. Maybe even some bastion raids in the future could be a good idea. Let's go this way. Sherlock Holmes, and I'm sure it's the real Sherlock Holmes, said in chat, "Love your videos. I also joined your SMP. Saturday nights are reserved for your stream. It starts at 10:30 p.m. here." Well, I'm so glad that you enjoy a late night stream from me. I know a lot of people, this is actually surprising to me, but a lot of people say they watch my videos to help them sleep. So I'm not sure if watching my stream will make you fall asleep if it's late for you, but hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, I'm so glad that that. And also, it looks like someone has gifted 5 memberships to the channel. So 5 random people in the chat right now should be now automatically given a membership. Maybe check and see if you're the one who got it. And of course, if you do have that membership, then you will be joining the iSquad, and there should be a little notification on the screen right now that's saying that. It is nighttime. I have a friend who, when they play Minecraft, they always have a clock with them, and they will always sleep when it's nighttime, even if they're underground, just because they do not want to have even a chance of running into a hostile mob. And although I do not do that myself, I definitely see the reason why you would do that, just because of course hostile mobs are so dangerous and deadly. The frames are looking pretty bad. I'm definitely having issues with Optifine here. I'll have to look into modifying that in a second here, but what we'll do, just for fun, is we'll mine all these cores here. Our frames, pretty bad there. We might just lower the render distance to like 16. Should be about the same. See anything we could change here? I'll do particles to minimal there. So funny, I have an amazing computer, but Minecraft still refuses to run efficiently, even though I have 32 gigabytes of RAM that are allocated, but I guess that's Minecraft for you. Anyway, we still have efficiency 4 that's reserved there. We are going to now craft another pickaxe out of our existing diamonds. We're going to use those diamonds to make that. And so we'll go over here. I should probably have a crafting table in the enchanting area as well, I guess. But again, we're not really here to optimize. We're kind of near the end of this base's lifespan. So again, we're hoping for efficiency 4 and breaking 3. Let's see what we get, basically. Just efficiency 4, that's honestly still fine. And then what we'll do in the anvil here is we're going to combine these two. This is 5 levels, this is 17, so definitely we should do what's 5 levels. And we'll just name this fortune pick or something like that. And you can of course name these things whatever you want, but it is a good idea to name them. And there we go. And we have our old fortune tools and our new ones, our new sort of better tools. So we have like a double tool set, which is nice. Let's mine these diamonds with our brand new fortune pickaxe. It was 10 diamonds. Let's see what the drop rate is. Does not seem to be very good. 21. So that's actually very, very close to the average. The statistical average is 22 or 2.2 diamonds per ore, which means that 22 is exactly how many we should have gotten. We were like 1 diamond away from getting the very, very normal amount. So that's a good thing there. And then we'll put away these extra pickaxes since they're not really useful at all, since they can't instant mine. We'll put them in the sort of item chest here, the tool chest, I guess it is. And we'll put away the rest of these other things we have too. I know some people have complained about my organization, which I don't think is terrible. I mean, these are all wood related, these are all stone related, but obviously only having like, you know, 6 double chest, well not 6, but 10. I think about 10 double chests here. It's kind of hard to organize that correctly. And we'll go over here and we will fill that up with those blocks. So we do have some chests over at the other place. If you're mining out a huge area, you always want to have tons of storage. It's really important. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab here about 10 chests, and we're now going to walk over. We do have 2 pickaxes that are able to instantly mine. We also have some food. And so we're going to go on a bit of a journey. Again, normally I'd be using a lighter if I could. I just literally cannot in this situation because we're out. But we can just sort of carefully make our way back. Actually, this is a much better idea. We should make a nether tunnel. That would be a way better idea, especially when we're moving these items over. If we can't get a mending villager before then, that's a good one actually. We'll do that. So let's find some obsidian then. There could be some obsidian here. I hope there is. There is 5 obsidian there. There is none around here. Now, if there's a lava lake on top of one of the mountains, we could use that. But it might be time to go all the way back down into the cave. But what I'll do, actually, so we don't have to bother with that, because I still have a lot of iron, yeah, from the beacon. So we'll just craft 5 buckets like this. Then we'll head into the nether, grab 5 buckets of lava, and come right back. But because I don't want to risk losing these things that we just worked really hard for, I'm just going to put all of my valuable items, except for like, you know, some random iron stuff, in this chest, and we can just go in there, grab that, come back out. Absolutely no risk. We'll put down another chest as well. Often a good idea to do this. Sometimes people will even have nether chests, sort of a chest that they have next to their nether portal. This too is a really good idea. Oftentimes it can be a good way of just making sure that you're not going to lose everything, especially if you don't have, let's say, fire breathing or netherite. You know, the chance of losing much more is very, very possible. So we'll go over here. We got tons and tons of duplicate items and stuff. Even like this one's looting 3. Some of these are really good, so even those we shouldn't really lose, but whatever, we'll take these, our second best tools and stuff. And we'll take some of this random iron armor here, just making sure it's not cursive binding, or we're not gonna recover very well from that one. Like these boots are cursive binding, and these ones are not, so we'll put on these. There we go. And we could put on some gold armor too. We'll bring a gold helmet, but again, that should be enough. We'll grab a bit of the food we have here. Hopefully we have some food cooking here. We don't. We should get that cooking as we wait. If we have some potatoes, we do. We almost always have potatoes, so of course we'll do that. Potatoes are definitely a very good food source if you're more early game, which I guess we are. And so we'll go through here. And someone said, do I have an iron farm? I do not have an iron farm. We actually just manually mined it. We don't really have any automatic farms yet. Of course, the goal is definitely to get those automatic farms, but because we have not got those just yet, we do not have access to that super easy iron. So let's go over this way. This goes down to the lava lake, so if we're careful, again, we should be fine. It's all just about being careful, not, you know, pressing buttons by mistake. And actually, it's interesting because I feel like, you know, let's say Bedrock Edition, for instance, I would say tends to be a bit more difficult than Java, but if you're on Pocket Edition, that's where it's really difficult. So to all the Pocket Edition players right now, I definitely am in honor of your sort of determination playing on there, because I know the problem with Pocket Edition, this happens a lot, is that it's very hard to control because of course it's all on a touch screen. And so because of that, let's say in this scenario here, being on a very difficult bridge, it can be really hard not to sort of move to the left or the right by swiping by accident, and then of course falling into lava. So that's their true talented players is Pocket Edition, even though you wouldn't really think that, but there's some difficult controls there. So let's grab the lava out of here. There we go. 5 buckets. It's a trick I learned a long time ago when I was playing Minecraft, is to never have a bucket of lava on your hotbar unless you absolutely need to, because actually one of the first deaths I had in Minecraft was putting a lava bucket down at my feet by accident, and then of course burning to death and losing literally all of my items because of that. And I should not just be going up a random direction, I should look for the path. There's a fossil here though, and I will not hesitate to grab it real quick, because of course bone blocks are so useful and good. There's actually a lot of them around here. I'll probably mine out more here later. Fossils in the Soul Sand Valley here are one of the most overpowered parts of the entire game. Oh, they're also fairly underused, believe it or not. Let's see if we can hit the gassed fireball back. We actually did. It's hard part's getting the angle correct because it'll kind of go a different direction. We can see if we can do this one. The trick is also to hit it just a touch earlier before you thought, especially if you're on a laggy world, because then basically you won't have an issue. And that was really close. Let's see if we can get this one. No, it just keeps going lower. I think they call this playing tennis with the ghast sometimes. If we jump up and hit that, oh, that's so close to hitting it. It'd be very difficult though at this kind of range, but either way, enough playing tennis with the ghast there. We'll go over up here across our incredibly dangerous little pathway here and make our way up to our portal, which is over here. And we'll go this way and take a look at, of course, doing that. It was actually funny, I was playing some Minecraft with a friend a little while ago, and I think we had about 10 ghasts that spawned in the nether as soon as we went through the portal in this very flat area. I'm not sure if that's because it was Bedrock Edition or just because it was such a flat area, but ghasts can definitely be a big issue in the game if you're not sort of consciously dealing with them, as the trick there is just not to ignore them. So of course with raw lava buckets, if you want to turn these into obsidian, it's pretty easy. We could also just in some scenarios, it would probably be the best idea to literally just use them sort of as placing them down with the obsidian, like place them in the correct position. But right here what we'll do, we're going to break this block, we're going to place down lava, we're going to mine that and just kind of go through them. But it's not too dangerous this way. This is usually the best method. Just of course like this, for instance, because the obsidian takes so long to mine, sometimes you might place down a block and then you'll mine the one underneath it. So we'll go like this. You want to be careful too, because sometimes if you place it down wrong, you can actually delete lava with water. So we're going to go this way, and of course we're mining everything incorrectly. Again, that's okay here, and we'll just mine these blocks around here. And that is now 2 obsidian mined. There's the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th right here. Is one of these more efficient? This one is, so we'll mine it with this pickaxe. Efficiency plays a major role in mining speed of obsidian, a very big role. And so I would always suggest mining obsidian with efficiency if you have it. But there we go, there's our little area there. It sort of looks like a sort of fountain or well we have there. It's funny because I remember on the, I think it was the first Survival Live anyway, it might have been the second one, but I think it was the first one. We had this interesting thing happen where I broke a block of ice at the top of the mountain so that I could swim up it. And then I didn't realize why the water went away. But what actually happened is that water froze. And so it kind of naturally stopped that flow of water. And it's funny little things like that inside the game that, you know, you don't always think about. But they're still there affecting the mechanics in the background. And technically, as soon as I broke that water block, without putting a block inside of it to stop it from freezing, let's say making it waterlogged, we then basically made a little timer that's going to stay there until eventually, of course, it runs out. And so we're going to go over here. We now, of course, have our obsidian. We just need a flint and steel on top of all these items. And we'll just kind of switch out these things. This could be like our random supply box for now. Organization at this stage is not that important just because everything will be moved in a second anyway. So we're going to go over here. And we are going to take a look at this, and we're going to go through all these items as well. And a series I actually want to do, this is a sort of thing I was considering, is that obviously, you know, I'm not perfect in any way at Minecraft, and there's a lot of things I don't know about the game. And I was thinking, wouldn't that be an interesting sort of series if I dived into parts of the game that I'm not the most skilled at, like let's say, you know, crazy advanced redstone or advanced PvP, for instance. And maybe did a series of sort of, you know, researching that and exploring that and practicing that and kind of, you know, learning along with you in the video there, leveling up these skills could definitely be a cool thing, I think. And sort of maybe training with PvP, for example, or maybe, you know, interviewing people who are really good at redstone. I don't know, it's a thought for a series I had. I'd love to hear people's feedback on that idea, because I feel like, you know, I always want to improve at Minecraft. I am someone who actually really is passionate about this game, and I think that it's one of the best games ever made, if not the best. So to me, my ultimate goal would always to become better and better at it, and maybe doing that through a video series could be a really cool thing. Let's fill up our inventory here with what we do need. We'll bring a water bucket just because why not? It's sometimes a good idea for that. And we'll go this direction also, and we should take a look at this. Now 22 potatoes is not a lot, and that's why what I did is I put these in here before. That way we don't have to wait for them to smelt, and because it's a smoker, it smelts double quick, which is awesome. We'll grab the shulker box, or we'll grab the iron too. You know, sometimes you don't know what you need. The chests are vital, we definitely need those. Bow and arrow is good. Actually, really important thing I just remembered here, we do not have a bed with us, and we're going to need a bed for sure. So let's grab a bed just around here. We can find that. We might have to craft a new bed. That's fine. I guess we'll decide what color. Light blue, maybe. We'll do cyan maybe for once. Cyan's kind of funny because it has a lot of color variation to it depending on what you're making. You know, cyan terracotta, for instance, is just a form of gray. But like this cyan on this bed here is sort of like a Caribbean kind of tropical blue, whereas the cyan of the wool here is a lot darker and kind of looks almost like, you know, I'm not sure exactly what, honestly, but it looks a lot different than the bed in terms of color. So it's kind of cool there how there's that form of color variance, and every single type of block has an interesting difference there. And if you're watching the stream and are not subscribed, which I would be kind of shocked, but if you're not, then you can always subscribe on stream and you'll actually get a notification on the stream that'll say that you subscribed. And so it's kind of a really good opportunity to have yourself be on the stream, whatever your username is, of course. And that's a pretty cool opportunity there. So we have here, I think, everything we need. I'm pretty sure. Actually, a flint and steel. That's something we need here. But other than that, we're good. And of course, we can mark down the coordinates, get ourselves all kinds of stuff there. And I guess we'll need some blocks. Yeah, flint and steel, that was what it was. And we could also get some blocks for the corner of the portal, but we don't really need to. Alright, I think that's it. Actually, we don't need the bone blocks. We'll put those away as well. Yeah, that should be it. So we'll go this way. We'll kind of start mining out the area. We're going to have to walk, unfortunately, but it's actually not that far. Now that we have the portal ingredients, it shouldn't be difficult either to get back. So we want to go this direction. I've definitely died many times on these slopes before. Not many times. I think I've actually only died twice on this world, maybe 3 times, and the last time was a very long time ago on stream. I keep mentioning this, but it's like we almost could be doing hardcore. And of course we're at the stage of the game now where, like, I doubt I'll die more than 5 more times in this world's entire history. I remember I had a survival world I played probably about, I think it was about 7,000 days on, and I'd only died like 6 times throughout the entire history of the world, mostly because I was being careful, and then also, like, you know, just kind of, let's say if something bad happens, making sure to pause, making sure to, you know, assess the situation and be careful. And once you have like totems of undying and netherite and all these things, it is definitely very difficult to die inside the game. So we'll go this way. The mountain we want to be on is kind of this direction. If our render distance is quite low, I set it to 16. But you can see the beacon there. There's the beacon. It's kind of cool to have that. So we just have to go right over there, and that is where we're mining out. And this mountain is going to be made completely flat. Not completely flat, but, you know, flat from the level where we start digging it out. So to the top of the mountain will be dug out. And so we're going to go this way and do that. And we're going to go over here. And someone said they just subscribed now. Well, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you enjoy what you see here. I have videos on almost every single subject about the entire game of Minecraft. Whenever videos I don't have subjects on, those are ones you will be seeing in the future. So let's keep going here along the forest, and we should be able to find our path. Of course, we have this nice beacon lighting the way. Beacons are such a cool item in Minecraft. I've talked about them a couple times in videos, and I think that, you know, there are a lot of decorative possibility in some late game worlds. If you have, let's say, a wither farm set up or something like this, you can actually use them completely decoratively in a lot of different ways because they're quite a beautiful block, but certainly one of the most expensive decorations you could use inside of Minecraft. So we're going to go up here, and right up here we have our beacon, and almost the song sort of playing in the background reminds me a bit of the beacon beam sort of light sounding thing. We'll go over here and we can actually hear that. Kind of blends in a bit there, but yeah, we do have haste 2, which is good. Fully powered beacon. We will set up these chests. So what I tend to do is I'll start by setting up some chests on the beacon itself, because I know I won't mind the beacon. So these chests won't be sort of floating here later on. So we're going to set those up. And then I can put in here anything we don't need, maybe the shulker box. We could put, this could be like the sort of iron to change what the effect is. And now let's try our first instant mining. We want to go to Y level 187. That's the Y level that I've determined is the best for this area. So if we take a look, this is 191. We actually want to go a bit lower. So over here, this is 188. Even one lower than this, because there's this whole area here we'll have to cover up later. So 187. So this is the level we want to go to. We can basically just sort of sweep through here. Again, if you want to know how to instant mine like this, you know, some people might just go like this and it's kind of inefficient, right? What you want to do is you want to do wide sweeping motions, circular motions. And so if you take a look at this, we're kind of doing that. We're circularly moving. We could even like turn on cinematic camera, but it's too slow. But basically we can go through here and yeah, just like this, mine all the blocks, kind of making like an S shape. We're sort of like drawing out an S on these rocks. Sort of, I won't mine quite like that the entire stream, or people are going to get very dizzy, but basically that is the most efficient way of mining. We will mine a bit less dizzyingly, but that is the best way, of course. And we can go through here and sort of just break all these blocks and mine it out. Now obviously just mining blocks is not the most interesting thing, so what I would love to hear right now in the comments or in the chat is questions, because I want to answer as many questions people have about Minecraft as I possibly can as I'm digging this out. We won't dig the entire thing out on stream, don't worry, but you know, we should try it out for a bit, maybe till our pickaxe is almost broken there, which won't actually take very long. But anyway, I'd love to hear any questions you have about Minecraft, about my channel, anything you'd like, and I will try and answer those with my Minecraft knowledge. We'll go through here. Someone's asking what enchantments do I have on my pick. The pick that is instant mining right now, this is Efficiency 5, Silk Touch, and Breaking 3. So we're getting all these amazing silk touched stone that we can actually use later to trade with villagers, which will be really good. And we have some things in the chat right here. Someone said, what do you think is the hardest skill to learn? I love that. That's an amazing, I've never answered that question before. It's such a good one. What would be the hardest thing to learn in Minecraft? It's a very good question. Now, I mean, I would say just from my own experience, probably advanced PvP, but I haven't had much experience in that, as I was sort of saying earlier, so that's probably just selection bias. In terms of, in reality, what's the hardest to learn, I would probably say exactly how every item works. So this is something I would say I'm probably decently good at, is like, let's say, you know, knowing how every single item has its different interactions. For instance, you know, you can craft beets into red dye. Like, you probably didn't know that. Maybe you did, but a lot of people wouldn't. And so that's kind of an example of that. Obviously, it's only difficult if you put it to the scale of the entire game. I guess another difficult thing too is memorizing every crafting recipe. That could be quite hard. But honestly, if we're talking about like a truly very difficult to learn skill, because it's not just a fact or a piece of trivia, probably building. I would say building is actually probably the most difficult thing to learn, because even things like advanced farm building, let's say being a technical Minecrafter, it is very black and white. There's a lot of sort of easy, not easy, but very straightforward resources on it. But with building, you have to make your own style. After all, anyone can sort of build what looks like green or like one of these other popular styles, but a good build is not necessarily a build that looks like the modern style. A good build is something that's unique, something that has detail, but has the right level of detail, you know. I would say building is probably the best answer to that question, is the most difficult thing to learn truly well inside of Minecraft, but also probably the best thing to learn. Let's see. Someone said, can you breed angry pandas from two happy ones? You can. There is a small genetic mutation chance, but you're much better off if you can introduce at least one angry panda into the mix. Someone said, what type of farms will be affected / not work in 1.19.3? Very good question, because there are some farms that will be breaking in 1.19.3. Well, anything having to do with nether portals, in the nether, with skeletons, wither skeletons, or I believe, I forget the other one, but there was 3 mobs, and basically what it is these mobs, the light level that they spawn at has been changed, and so that interacts with nether portals. So this does not, for example, mean that your, you know, current iron farm isn't going to work, your current maybe guardian farm, that'll work fine. But if it's something where you're trying to get mobs to spawn in or around nether portals, that's not going to work. The reason why is that people deciphered ways in sort of advanced farming techniques that you can have it so that a mob will summon in next to a portal or in a portal, and they'll instantly change dimension. So because of that, they're not in the mob cap anymore. So the game, like literally in like under a second, then is like, oh, well, the mob cap's empty, so we should spawn in more mobs. And so because of that, what you kind of have happen with these farms, and why it's an unfortunate but good thing that they're getting rid of this is that you could literally farm hundreds upon thousands of mobs in one AFK session because these mobs are being constantly generated into the world. And so, you know, I think Mojang has nothing wrong with overpowered farms. You know, I mean, for instance, you can actually make AFK fish farms again in 1.19. I should probably cover that at some point, but you know, I think that farms that are just incredibly overpowered, something where you're just getting literal hundreds of thousands of items, that's likely why they broke those. So yeah, basically anything portal-based that has to do with nether mobs spawning in portals in sort of that way. And let's see. So I said, what's my favorite color? My favorite color is purple. Purple has been my favorite color for a very long time. And yeah, it's kind of why like my channel branding is kind of purple and green. And like, for instance, my tie on my character is purple there because it's sort of that color of purple too, like kind of this kind of magenta purple mix. But yeah, that's what that is. Someone said when a redstone ore block lights up, does that trigger an observer signal? It does. It can definitely do that as far as I'm aware. But even if it doesn't, it actually is still useful because that is power. So you could literally just put a piece of redstone dust underneath that, or you could put a piece of TNT underneath that. That is a powered block now. So an observer wouldn't actually be necessary because it's almost like its own observer. You know, a redstone ore block is really cool because it really is honestly like an observer. It's just an observer that, you know, has to be walked over, and obviously it's not insanely useful, but it is something where if a mob touches that, it'll light up. That means it's powered. And let's go through here. Some said, why do you think Minecraft gets boring for some people? I think the sad but true answer is that some people aren't very creative, and I think that to enjoy Minecraft for a very long time, you have to have a lot of creative output. But I think that creativity is not necessarily central to character. I think it could be learned. So I think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with sort of saying, well, I don't feel very creative. Let's learn how to be more creative inside of really any context, but of course also the context of Minecraft. But I would say that would be one of the biggest reasons. Also, some people kind of prefer a higher level of, let's say, excitement when they're playing a game, you know, so they may enjoy raiding a bastion, they may sort of enjoy PvP, but they might not enjoy, let's say, collecting resources or building just because it's not super exciting compared to other video games. So that'd probably be the reason for that, I would say, and why it kind of varies from person to person. Go this way. Someone's asking something I referenced a long time ago, which is that I did balloon art at one point. They're asking me if I still do that. I do. I wish I could do it more. I'm very busy, unfortunately, but I do still practice that sometimes. I've actually made my character out of balloons before. I should see if I have a picture of that. I'll have to put that on my Twitter at some point. Speaking of my Twitter, always time to plug social medias. Feel free to follow me on Twitter if you want, at Eyecraft_MC. Maybe Elon Musk will smile upon me and I'll get at Eyecraftmc eventually, but either way, basically you can do that. And of course I have my Reddit and my Twitch and all these other things as well. And the Discord link is pinned. I got it pinned today, so we're going to see if that works better. It's on the comments or the live chat there, and I'll try and get it in the description of the video as well. We'll go like that. Someone said, what single feature would I bring from Bedrock into Java? Only one feature. I would say the one of two, either the better armor stands or the better cauldrons. Probably the better armor stands, honestly. I think there's so much that's added by that. But the better cauldrons too are a big deal. But yeah, one of those two I would say for sure. Bedrock definitely has a lot of benefits. I guess one too, if it's kind of technical, not like a new feature, but just sort of a new technical change, is I love how render distance can go up like to 96 on Bedrock, which just is completely crazy. Obviously, you know, I would never be running the game consistently at that, but it is fun to have like occasional renders, you know, 5 frame a second renders at that kind of render distance on your world, because then you can get a better view of what's around. Someone said, if I could remove a mob from Minecraft, which one would it be? If I could remove a mob from Minecraft, which one would it be? Well, I would probably remove the Firefly. Wait, they did that already. No, I wouldn't remove the Firefly. That would have been actually really cool if they had added that. Yeah, I'm not sure what mob it would remove. I guess I kind of like the whole game. In terms of something that annoys me, probably the foxes actually. I don't really like foxes that much. I think they're fine, and I wouldn't actually remove them if I could. But if I had to pick a mob, I might pick the foxes. Of course, I'm sure most people would pick like polar bears or strays or something that are kind of, you know, not super unique. Yeah, I don't really like foxes that much. I do think that berry-powered farms are quite good, and I've even talked about those before. I just find oftentimes if you're near a taiga biome, they can get to be quite annoying, and they'll also kind of swim around in different areas. But, you know, I think that all the mobs in the game are good, and I wouldn't really want to actively remove any of them. And someone said bats. Bats, yeah. I guess bats, I would like to see a use for bats. You know, I mean, bats are kind of a magical, mystical thing, you know, so maybe like they should drop bat wings. Maybe that could be in a potion. Like that would make sense to me, right? Like a rabbit foot kind of rarity. That would be really cool, actually, and that would make a lot of sense and give some use to them. And maybe they could even have like, you know, really rare like bat caves or something, like you find like a little, you know, bat nest or something would be interesting. So I think bats could be expanded on. I think then they definitely should not be removed. But yes, in their current form, yeah, they're not very good. Someone said the Batman potion. They could definitely add that. What's the scariest thing in Minecraft? Well, the current answer is definitely the warden. I think that kind of goes without saying. I would say that in terms of like what's the scariest thing that could happen, I know a lot of players have been scared by sort of the emptiness of Minecraft. That's really what Herobrine is if you think about it. It's the fact that Minecraft is empty and that there's something scary about that, right? Because, you know, you're really all alone in this world if it's not multiplayer. So I guess sort of that could be like a phobia that could be induced by Minecraft. But in terms of like that, you know, I've had some pretty bad jump scares with creepers. Wardens aren't really jump scares because you're usually pretty aware of kind of when they're going to spawn in. So of course, in terms of like intentionally scary the warden, but yeah, like there's some pretty good jump scares. I think I've even had a couple of jump scares on stream before, never like literal like scream, but like I've definitely had that happen before where you're just like, you turn around, you're like, ah, it's pretty crazy. So I don't know, probably like that. Someone said Silk Touch or Fortune. I would say if I had to pick one, Silk Touch, because Fortune only gives you more. Silk Touch unlocks new things. And is our shovel Silk Touch? No, it is not. So we'll get some flint here. If you're mining a lot of flint, always make sure to have a Silk Touch shovel. Or if you're mining a lot of gravel, make sure to have a lot of Silk Touch shovel. If you want to have flint, then yeah, mine it with Fortune. You'll actually get unlimited, not unlimited, but you'll only get flint. So you'll get one flint for every gravel. No gravel will drop. So that's quite a good thing if you need that. Of course, go around here, mine this out, and refill up these chests even some more like this. And we'll kind of get all our items put away in here like this. Someone said, why is my voice so satisfying? I guess I was just born that way, or probably not born that way. I know my screams were satisfying, but you know, I'm sure that I guess just the way I am. I'll go this way. Someone said they need help making a mob farm. Well, I have talked about some XP farms. Something I actually want to do, and this sort of a sneak peek, people can get excited for this, make sure to tell anyone you know who watches me about this, kind of a cool hint, is I want to expand into farm tutorials. Yes, it's finally happening. I know that people have wanted me to do that for a long time. I'm not sure how many I'll make, but I already have 2 that I'm working on currently, because the thing is that, you know, my channel is primarily how do you play Minecraft. If I try making a video other than that, it usually doesn't do well. And so because of that, I'm going to have to focus on how you play Minecraft until I've covered basically everything. And the one thing that I haven't covered is mob farms. But I want to do it with a twist, which is the fact that a lot of mob farms are sort of passed around by the community. You know, this person gives credit to this person, gives credit to this person, which sort of just, at the end of the day, it just seems a bit ridiculous. Because if one person's made a good tutorial already, why would you need another person to make that same tutorial on the exact same build? So what I want to do is I want to only make farm tutorials if I can design or at least greatly improve my own farm for that type. And I've already done that actually for 2 types of farms. They're both food related farms. And I also kind of did that with the micro farms, right, where each one of the micro farms was something that I designed myself. And so with that, of course, we have ourselves sort of farm tutorials should hopefully start happening. And if one of those is a mob grinder, you know, where you have a large area where mobs spawn, they fall down, hopefully I can help you with that then. But for now, if you're having any issues, something I would remind you of is that, of course, now light levels work a bit differently in modern Minecraft. You want to make sure that those mobs are in light level 0, not light level 7 or below, because that's what 1.17 before needed, but you want to make sure that it's at light level 0. And so maybe blocking up where your torches are at, you know, putting some tinted glass. Tinted glass is super fun actually in mob farms, and I'll definitely talk about that if I ever do make a mob farm tutorial, because it was basically added for mob farms and it's also very underused. Then of course that would be where you would be able to do that. We'll go this way. Someone said, will I ever do Minecraft myths or theories? Do you have some of your own? I do have a couple, although they're fairly common. Like, let's say that the Allay and the Vex are obviously connected. I mean, now with 1.19.3, there's that. I really do think they're probably both from a sky dimension. I think that adding like the Aether in Minecraft is probably actually going to happen the more I think about it. Maybe not exactly that, but you know, that kind of idea. Because, you know, the Allay and Vex are both flying, they're both new, they're both related to 1.19 now. I think we could see that in 1.20, 1.21, maybe 1.22. But again, according to Minecraft, not until the end has been updated, so that's kind of how that will work. We'll put away the rest of the stone in here. Let's take a look at that. But I do think that that's sort of like how that is. They're both flying related. Again, flying related mobs inside of Minecraft are not common at all. And so I think that, you know, almost, and you think about it this way, it's funny, there's no birds in Minecraft really. I mean, there's the parrots, right? And there's the phantoms, but there's no real birds. And so at this current point, we almost have this bit of lore as if like flying mobs are something that's kind of not in the overworld. You know, it's kind of something from a different dimension. So again, it's just a theory, no way fully proven at all, but it is an interesting thought, and potentially, you know, a sort of floaty flying dimension, you know, almost controlling, like, let's say creative mode would, maybe when you're there, like zero gravity, would be quite interesting. But I'm not sure if I actually would, let's say, make a video on theories, just because I found that videos like that are kind of hit and miss, and it's quite difficult to make a really compelling theory that people would want to watch the video for. But I have talked about things like that before a bit. I have a video I posted right before Minecraft Live that's called What's the Future of Minecraft. I've posted videos about what do I think 1.20 will be, because 1.20 was not any of the things that any of us thought, because it was just kind of abstract stuff. Those videos are still relevant, just basically change 1.20 to 1.21, and that's kind of some sort of Minecraft theories you could get from Eyecraftmc there. Someone asks, when will version 1.19.3 come out? Well, we have an exact date now, so I can answer it. It's not a general date, it is December 6th. So December 6th, 2022, we will have that come out. And if you want to learn more about 1.19.3, I discuss that in much more detail in a video all dedicated to that, everything about that update. There's actually a lot of kind of secret stuff, like for instance, shields now work against TNT, which is like a huge deal. And so if you want to check that out, hopefully one of the mods can link that, but if you just go to my channel page, homepage, watch page, it should be in the last 2 or 3 videos. Or in fact, I think it was my last video. Yeah, it was. So my last upload would be that right now, at the time of this stream anyway. Pickaxe is getting low, 133 durability. We're going to have to watch that carefully. We cannot lose this pickaxe, and we do not have mending. So we have to be careful to not work it down too much. But we'll keep going here. Probably a mending villager, honestly, should be our goal once we've ran out of both these pickaxes, because then it's like, well, what else do we do if we want to keep mining out this space? And seems like a lot of work. We've already actually mined out a lot of this area, looking great and flat. There's a bit of a hill there, but other than that, a lot of this stuff is fairly low down already. 85 there, we're getting pretty low. Once this little blob of stone is done here, we'll put our blocks away, and we can kind of continue on from there. After that, we'll mine at the fortune, so then we will be getting the cobblestone, but it doesn't matter too much. And we'll kind of go over here, and you know, cobblestone's good for like observers, so we can use it for that. And we'll go this way. Someone said the worst sound in Minecraft is a pickaxe breaking. I would probably agree with you on that one, just because of sort of the connotation of all your work having gone away. Yeah, this is at 56. We're just going to keep this like this. I'm not going to risk it. So we're going to move on to fortune. This actually does not have unbreaking either, so it'll break very, very quickly, which is okay, but we do have to be aware of that. Someone said, do I think that mending and elytra break the game? I think that mending and elytra are doing the same thing that 1.14 villagers did, and also the same thing that, let's say, the new mining system does, which is it makes the game easier. And I think that that's honestly the goal of Mojang. Maybe they've achieved that goal, they probably have, so I doubt we'll see Minecraft become seriously easier with future updates, because it's basically way too easy already. But if you think about it, if you play Minecraft for a long time, you might notice this. The game seemed a lot harder back in the day. It's because it was. Because, for instance, if you got a perfect tool, you know, it would not last forever. I mean, even beacons, obviously beacons are not new in any sense at all. They're quite an old feature, but still, even just beacons are something that definitely made the game much easier. You know, totems of undying. I think that if we were going to, let's say, purposely make Minecraft harder, it wouldn't start with elytra and mending. It would probably start with villagers. It'd probably start with totems of undying. But then, yes, of course, continue on to those way too overpowered parts of the game. Now, we're actually out of range of our beacon, but the beacon should reach most of this. We're kind of at the edge, so it's kind of a good thing that we're out of range, because it means that we've mined a lot already. Like, should Minecraft be more difficult? I'd say the answer is yes. But I'm not sure to too much of a degree. I wouldn't say it should be too much harder. Probably just like more to where it was in, let's say, you know, maybe pre 1.14, I would say would be probably decent. You know, nothing too much harder. And we don't want the game to be something too difficult for people, but I would certainly say that, you know, certain features should just be toned down a bit, like the, you know, infinite diamond armor and tools from villagers. I'm not honestly sure what the developers were thinking when they added that. I mean, I guess we kind of do, which is make the game easier, right? Make diamond mining not necessary, which is obviously a massive change, and one that a lot of players still haven't really adapted to. A lot of players will still diamond mine. A lot of them might honestly think because maybe they're not fully aware of just how much better it is to literally just trade with villagers. And someone said elytra is endgame anyway. That's for sure. Now, obviously what elytra does, if we're talking about, you know, changing the process of the game, changing how easy it is it makes transportation different. Now, elytra almost physically changes the distances between different parts of your world. I think something that's good to remember is the fact that you sort of travel in Minecraft very slowly, and the Minecraft world's shaped very strangely. Like, for instance, 1,000 blocks is 1 kilometer, or 1,600 blocks is about 1 mile. And of course, you would know what one of those are, I'm sure. And if you think about how long a mile seems, how long a kilometer seems, that is definitely a lot shorter than, let's say, 1,000 blocks would seem in Minecraft. And that's because everything is sort of so short and small, and, a block is a meter by a meter, but even then we interact with it strangely. So like elytra would go slower than most cars, right, at highway speeds. And so elytra isn't really that fast. It's just that, of course, compared to the other methods, comparing a car in real life to running, obviously it's night and day difference. So I think that the game does need elytra. But I think that elytra, unfortunately, gets rid of things like minecarts. I think the real solution would be to level up minecarts. I think, get minecarts to be, let's say, the same speed as elytra, maybe just slightly slower. And then, of course, it would make more sense because you have like this sort of preset out pathway. That would make the most sense to me. Maybe even making it so that you couldn't really get hurt inside of minecarts. You'd be more protected in them. Making it basically be like, well, it's the same speed as elytra, but then you have the other feature of course, you don't have to worry about, consciously deciding where you're going to be moving. It'll kind of be laid out for you. So that's what I would say would be probably the solution to the elytra issue, encouraging people to build more physical transportation networks by just leveling up the current ones that there are. Like even things like boats could honestly be sped up a bit, not too much, but a little bit, I think. Because boats in real life can go very quickly as well, actually. Depending, of course, but you could like add a sail onto your boat or something. I doubt they'd actually do this, of course, but that would be one solution to the elytra issue for sure, is kind of evening the field a bit, maybe making elytra slightly slower, I'm not sure. Not that those things should necessarily be done, but that would be your ideal solution, I guess. Okay, so 155. Again, if we had mending, we'd definitely be using it, so I think mending is a good thing to look for soon. And someone said, of course, pick is about to break. Yes, it's always good to watch that. So we have 144. We'll go over here. We'll kind of mine a row. This is 1 block to 1 durability. We mined 2 there. It's now 142, so we have to be very careful here since we could insta-mine this easily till it's broken. So we're going to go over here. That is at 84. Again, we'll mine over here till we just see no durability. It looks like it's all dark. There we go. 56. And so that's enough. We'll go this way, and we'll pick up the cobblestone here, and then we can just head over to our chests and basically sort of change our focus. So, of course, we were focusing on mining all these blocks, and we still would be doing that if we had what we need. And what we need, of course, is high durability efficiency tools. So we don't have that anymore. There's a couple things we could do, but before we do those, let's make our portal. Let's take these 4 blocks of stone, craft them, of course, into stone bricks, because why not? And then we can make our portal with the obsidian and with the flint and steel. And we'll put that just about over, we'll actually put it over here. It should be at an area where it's not going to get lower for a while. So we'll put it like right, put it over here, I think, because that's the 187. And of course we have our sort of corner portal. Oh, of course I placed one of them incorrectly. I kind of thought I would place one incorrectly just because I wasn't really focusing on that too much. It's always sort of funny when that happens. We'll go over here and we'll grab a pickaxe and we'll mine that up. Someone said, why am I clearing the hill? That's a great question. It's because we'll be having a mega base here, which is obviously a really cool thing. We're going to have, over the next couple episodes, sort of working on this mega base. We'll do other things as well, of course. Like, for instance, right now we're going to pause on this and we're going to go get mending. But that's going to be the main goal for the sort of next, maybe, part of the series, however long it'll be, maybe 5-10 parts, I'm not sure. It'll be getting a mega base and getting a massive sort of, you know, take this world from where it is, I'd say probably mid-game, early mid-game, and take it to absolutely late game, and just kind of show that whole process, because I've never shown the process of late game Minecraft before. So what better place to show it, because it's a complex process, than to show it on a stream. Let's see where this goes. Hopefully we're not going to die and lose everything. We hopefully shouldn't. Hopefully it doesn't link to anything else either. It didn't, but there is a ghast, and that ghast could actually easily destroy our portal if we're not careful. Now ghasts are really stupid, because basically if you can't see them, they can't see you. So we're just going to hide behind here. Now it can see us, like if we're over here, then it'll hit us. But if it can't, then we're completely safe. Now I think this is actually where we're mining that fossil earlier. That may not be true, but it looks like it is. Soul Sand Valley is where we were, so we just have to sort of decipher our location and then make a pathway from there. It should be really close actually, so it should not be difficult at all. I'm just going to look for any sort of artificially placed blocks. You want to kind of make your way around the nether here. We'll grab some, we have a little bit of durability left here, so we're going to grab some netherrack. We'll use that to mark out our pathway. Not the ideal pathway material, but it's okay. We'll mine some of this. And we have durability is still pretty high because it's unbreaking. Obviously unbreaking makes this be a bit less dangerous to wasting our pickaxe. And we'll just put that up here so we do not destroy it. And we'll just take a look. We'll explore up there. We'll kind of explore around. We can kind of, something you can do if you want, you can kind of place blocks at your feet. I've seen people do this a lot. It's a little dangerous though, but you can do that trick to kind of be quicker. So we'll go over here and we'll take a look, try and get a better view of what is around us. And it's honestly confusing to me why they added soul soil. I think it was going to do more. I think maybe that would have been where you planted the nether warts, although of course nether warts can't be planted on soul soil. They can only be planted on soul sand, which makes like 0 sense, because you plant the thing on the thing that's not soil, which is obviously like dirt that you plant things in. So the only real unique use of soul soil is basalt generators. Actually, basalt generators are fairly unknown. I'm sure there's people right now that are actually like, oh really, you can make basalt generators, but you can. With the soul soil and blue ice, if lava touches those both at the same time, it'll actually make a piece of basalt. So you can do that, or basalt, I guess. People always complain about how I call it basalt instead of basalt, but either way, it's kind of an interesting feature. And we'll keep exploring around a little bit. We know where our portal is, roughly. So we'll kind of go this direction. We could actually look for... We're closer to 0, 0. So I think if we go this way, actually, maybe up where that lava is, or maybe this way. We'll kind of go around there, actually. I think that's probably the best idea. Just to kind of explore around here, maybe make a bridge across there. And that was nearly our death. It's always funny when you're in a very dangerous situation and you don't realize it till later, and you'll just kind of do something really stupid, and then later it's like, oh, I should not have done that. We'll take a look over here and we'll try and find out where our original portal might be. Just up there, actually. I doubt it, but it might be, so we'll take a look. It is! Look at that! I actually guessed that correctly. That was awesome. So that is really close. Let's kill these skeletons. Let's get some critical attacks in there. And that one actually didn't hit us once, which is awesome. So there's our portal, there's the other portal. Those are pretty close, honestly. We'll just grab these blocks. We'll kind of make a pathway. I don't know if we'll have enough blocks, but we should. So we'll just go over here, kind of break this. I guess we'll have to get our pickaxe back on our inventory here. And we'll kind of make this go this direction. And yeah, actually I think one of my micro farms was a basalt generator. I'm not sure. But yeah, basalt generators, it works exactly like cobblestone and sort of where cobblestone generators, right, where it's the lava and water touch. With this, it is obsidian touching, or it is not obsidian, it is lava touching blue ice and soul soil at the same time. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting feature. People have made flying machines out of it. There's tons of things you can do with it, which is really cool. But in fact, let's grab the rest of our tools. Let's bring those back to our standard base for now, because we now have this really easy link, fairly safe link between these two areas. And oh, that's actually the wrong portal. So, no, this is the right portal. Sorry, I'm just confused. There we go. It is raining, maybe even thundering. Let's get to sleep before we have a mob kill us. That's probably the best idea. We'll do that over here. Someone said, how come they can never find axolotls? Well, axolotls, of course, are found really only in one location. They used to be found in different locations. So the answer may be that you're confused and that you're trying to look for them where they used to generate, which is basically anywhere underwater. But where they now generate is the lush caves. So if there is water in a lush cave, it should be full of axolotls. Of course, once you have 2 axolotls, then it is fairly easy just to breed them up and get more and more. But the idea would be you want to find a lush cave, find some pools in that lush cave. I've never found them to be anything but incredibly common inside the lush cave. So if you go there, you should find a lot more and be a bit more lucky with that, of course. Or just sort of not really lucky since it's the right place to do it, but you know, have a higher chance of finding them than just sort of looking for random pieces of water. Or maybe if you were looking for them in the lush caves, you could potentially try and find lush caves that are further out from your base, because then they would not have had their sort of initial generation. They'd be sort of some more long-term generation there. We'll mine away some of these to remark our path that we now know our correct path. We should kind of make it entirely with these, and I'll dig it down in a second. Blue ice pathways is a goal soon. I don't really want to make an extensively and a just amazingly good pathway network until we have blue ice. But once we have like a bunch of blue ice, and we could do that really now, but you know, we won't do it for a while because we don't have too many places to go. But once we do, then I will do that. And there is a gas right there. And look at that, there's our achievement. We caught our achievement, and because we have looting on our sword, it actually applied because it was in our hand. And I'm getting killed right now by... Oh goodness, we're getting killed right now, but either way, we did get our achievement there. Return to sender, of course, which is destroy gas with a fireball. There we go. So we're almost trying to get that earlier on, but we got it now. So if anyone's wondering, just joining on the stream, we're trying to get mending. And I should say these things more, because it says the average view duration is 10 minutes. So most people are only stopping in for a bit. I want to make sure to keep everyone updated on what is going on, and that is right now, trying to get a mending villager, although we're not really close to doing that in any way. So what do we need for a mending villager? Well, there's a couple things, and we need to increase our probabilities by a lot, because last time we tried it was more difficult. Let's make this easy this time. Let's do the easiest method, which is to get a lot of the book lecterns. So let's say bookshelves. We don't need bookshelves. I got some water there. Someone asks, does my server support Bedrock players? It actually does. That's an awesome thing about my Minecraft SMP, and we'll have that in the server in general. We'll have that for the second season also, is we have a Floodgate, and Floodgate is this amazing plugin. Crazy this can even happen, but it's so cool. And it more or less links Bedrock and Java in one server, and so you can join with Bedrock seamlessly. I've played on there with my Bedrock account, which is of course also called Eyecraftmc. You just of course have to be whitelisted to be on my SMP, and make sure to tell the person who's whitelisting that you are a Bedrock player, as they're going to need to know that, since the whitelist process is different for Bedrock, because it's sort of a different kind of thing. Right, so I believe the most bookcases we can find will actually be not over here. They're going to be at the stronghold. Now we do have a portal to the stronghold. Just have to be careful. If I have a fire resistance, and I actually do, it's over here, we're going to grab that. There we go. Because this will be our sort of emergency potion, since normally I would not suggest just going through the nether this much without more safety. You know, either elytra. Elytras are really good, but if we don't have elytra, you want to have fire resistance. So we will bring that with us. And I think I remember the way back. So we kind of want to go this way. We want to go downwards, because I remember the portal is down here next to the lava. It's sort of down there. That's where the stronghold is. Yeah, it's like there's a portal all the way down there. There is a way to get down to it as well. We did mark it out. Oh, that's quite the drop. I think we have to go this way. The sort of, no, there's a pathway we digged actually. It might be we dug, I guess. Digged isn't really a word. Or it is, I think, just the wrong tense. But we'll go this way, and we'll walk over here. Yeah, this is actually the path, I believe. So this is a very dangerous little pathway. We're going to go this way, all the way down. We do have fire resistance, so we're actually good. Just, we don't have any feather falling, so, you know, fall damage is kind of the biggest issue. We want to make it down there. We're almost there, so we can see there's the blocks here. We just have to find the rest of the path. So we'll go this way. Kind of goes this way as well. So I think if we go lower, I feel like drinking this already, but I'm going to save it just in case. That was a jump we almost didn't make. Let's fire this skeleton right into the lava, or actually it died before it fell. We could jump down here, but we definitely shouldn't. We can make our, actually we could. We go over here. There we go. That's not bad. And then we'll go down here, and it's just across here, I believe, if I remember correctly, which hopefully I remembered correctly, is the portal to the stronghold. We can grab some bookcases there to get lecterns. It is crazy when you're in a world that doesn't have like a lot of stuff set up, how many steps there are to do basic things. You know, here we are going to the stronghold to get mending, which doesn't make a lot of sense, even though there's no mending books there or anything. So we'll go over here. We may as well sort of do this. I know some people love, not really speed bridging, but it's kind of a form of that, placing blocks quickly beneath you. You can kind of do this to avoid fall damage sometimes too, which is kind of a fun thing. We'll go through here and we'll get ourselves those books. We'll probably get about 10 books. That should be enough. Not too much of an issue with that. We actually, you know, we do have access to the end. We were end raiding a while ago. We could potentially use this to get back quickly. In fact, well, we could. Actually, I don't think it'll save much time, but we'll go over here. The bookcases are fairly close. They might be, if we follow these wood. So we'll see if that works. It may not. But we did place these down. I think we just put them here. I don't think they went anywhere. Oh, there's a library right there, so we don't have to get lost. And I think we put our enchanting table here. Yeah, we did actually full enchanting little area here. I forgot about that. And we can just grab these now that we have Silk Touch. So we won't grab the ones next to the table, but we will grab them over here. Now, of course, the axe is the best tool for this, but I don't think our axe has Silk Touch. It does not. And so, of course, breaking these with Silk Touch is the better idea. We'll actually grab a decent amount. Our durability is decent because it's 40, and then we, of course, have Unbreaking. And so we'll get maybe 25, 32, something like that. Bookcases should be decent. I keep saying decent. I know that's very weird, actually. These are not usually like that. It is usually not books directly next to a cave. It looks like what happened is the cave actually dug through part of the wall, but not all of that. That's really funny. I've never seen that. That's a surprisingly rare chance, actually, for that to happen. So that's kind of cool. Always fun little rare chances, even if they're not super useful rare chances. And we're going to mine over here as well and continue to collect all of these bookshelves, and we should get a decent amount of that as well. So we'll go over here, and I believe that we have 12. So yeah, 12 isn't a lot. We can get some more over here. I'm sort of always torn on these kind of structures, like, you know, should I destroy them? Should I keep them? I think at the end of the day, you know, a stronghold, you're never going to be kind of decorating a stronghold, very rarely anyway. You know, unless you have a stronghold transformation project, not usually the best idea to really keep them looking nice, unless you need to, of course. Well, the area around the portal should be nice, but other than that. And what I might even do later is build kind of a room around the portal. Sometimes that can work really well. We could do that. Someone says it's about to break. It looks like it is. It's actually on 34, and 34 is with Unbreaking 3. So we are good, but it's good to note that, because of course if it was about to break, which it kind of is if you're, you know, instant mining or something, then that would not be a good thing at all. Someone said, why do I not put mending on it? Well, I'm going to put mending on this. We're doing right now. You know, obviously inside of Minecraft, it takes a while to go from early to late game. Some people experience that very quickly. They like kind of speed running, but it's hard to speed run the game when, you know, it's being live streamed and being explained. We have 32 here. We'll mine through all these, and yeah, the goal is actually to get mending, and we'll get mending, of course, by having lecterns with villagers, which will give us more villagers. Might even try and get the villagers to breed as we wait. This will be definitely good, and we have 33 still. We may as well get a stack, honestly. Seems a bit boring, but I think that it's going to be worth it. You know, grinding things like this is good, because then later on we don't have to do it again, and this is not that close to our base either. We'll go over here. And someone asked, why do I not have netherite? Well, it's the same thing. It's the fact that, of course, we're not there yet, and of course we will have netherite soon. We're just not actually late game yet. We do have elytra. We don't even have mending on that elytra, so there's that. And I think I want to do the TNT method. With another song playing, actually. I think I want to do the TNT method when we do the netherite mining, because I enjoy the TNT method. I was experimenting around with that a while ago and got some really efficient results. I did not give the TNT method much credit in my ultimate netherite mining guide, which I probably should have, but there may or may not be a new netherite video coming out at some point, which is, you know, may or may not. But if there ever was, I would definitely talk about the TNT method, because it's actually pretty good if you're late game, and late game is where we will be pretty soon. I mean, to be honest too, like most players, if they're getting netherite, are going to be late game anyway. And here we go again. Here's another area where, see, maybe what it is maybe the caves can destroy the stone, they cannot destroy the wood. That could be what it is, actually. That would make the most sense, I think. So probably that's what the scenario is. I'll go through here. Someone said, have I killed the Ender Dragon yet? I have. That's a good question. We definitely have. If you want to see that happen live on the stream, you can go to the VOD for that. There's some really exciting stuff there. We have all kinds of interesting things that we've done so far. We've raided, you know, a woodland mansion. Actually, we raided a woodland mansion just a little while ago. Might have even been the last stream. No, it wasn't the last stream. It was a stream before last, I think. And we did end raid and do all these things as well. So lots of cool things there. I'm going to go this direction. And I believe once we find this, we'll just follow that back and head back. So we could use the end portal. The problem is if the end portal... Actually, that's not a problem. In fact, I was going to say if the end portal takes us to spawn, that'd be horrible. But in fact, spawn's where we want to go, because that's where the villagers are. So really... If I can do this really sneaky, if we can get a book, or if, not a book, if we can get a bed, if we can set our spawn point here, then break it, so we sort of have a cancelled spawn point, no spawn point, then we'll go exactly where we want to go. But I don't think we can actually do that, unfortunately, although it would be very cool, because we do not have... we have some books here. Anything good here? Yes. We'll grab those later, though. We'll go through here. We'll see what we get. I mean, obviously, we've been here already. We'll take a look. See... I think we're going to end up at our mining base, but we'll find out, or the, well, sort of beacon area. Of course, we already raided this, not raided it, but defeated the Ender Dragon. We raided some end cities nearby, some close end cities. There's lots of them there, which is good. And we actually raided end cities for like an episode and a half, so we have tons of stuff from there, which is cool. We'll go through, and we ended up at... here. There we go. So we will sleep real quick. There is... a ton of creepers, not a ton, but some. We'll actually kill those because we need gunpowder still. Kind of always need gunpowder. And we'll grab this creeper and a couple around it. Technically, we could even use this to help us mine, but that's a bit silly. There's some more gunpowder. I'm not sure how much it was. We'll get those items here. Alright, and I guess we would go through the nether portal and head back. Probably would make the most sense. Or we could even just walk to the area we need to go. I guess... we'll need to head back to our base, though, because we need some other items, like sugarcane and stuff, things to sort of trade. And there's actually a baby zombified piglin there, which is quite funny. Yeah, we'll go through the portal here. It'll be pretty quick. There we go. Of course, there's a skeleton meeting us right here. And we'll do that. All right, let's take a look. So... it is this direction. We should definitely mark this out better. I'm not sort of confused as to where to go. And we'll go this way. And we actually have a super chat from, I think that's Eileen Galen. Eileen, something like that. Sorry if I said your name wrong. It says, what tool to mine amethyst bud blocks with? Well, unfortunately, you can't mine amethyst bud blocks. You can mine them, but they're gonna break into nothing, sort of like a spawner. They work just like a mob spawner does. And so basically, they're fully unobtainable inside of survival. All you can really do if you want to get them is you can either get them in creative, you can, give them to yourself with a give command or in a creative inventory. The quickest tool to mine amethyst is a pickaxe, and that might seem obvious, but it's not that obvious because glass, for instance, has no preferred tool. It's crazy to me how many people will always mine glass with a pickaxe, I mean, me included, but really a silk touch axe or a silk touch shovel or even a silk touch hoe is just as efficient. And so it's not like that with the amethyst, it's actually different. But yeah, unfortunately there is no way of getting the amethyst bud blocks in survival Minecraft without, let's say, a data pack or some cheats or something like that. Alright, let's take a look. So we need to craft these. I'm yawning. Let's see. We have here, so it's 4 slabs and 1 bookshelf. We'll make 10. I think 10's probably too many, but like whatever. There's that. We'll put the rest of these wood items away for now, or I guess we'll put them in the wood chest. We may as well keep somewhat sorted. And we'll put that there. And we didn't even use our fire resistance, which is good. So we now need items to trade with the villagers. This is a very important part of process. The villager trading process is you need buying and you need selling. So we need to find things to buy and things to sell. We know what to buy. We need to buy the enchanted books, but to sell, we need to sell to them things that they want. And there's 2 easy things we can do. Actually, there's actually a lot of easy things, but some of the most easiest would be sticks. So we can do sticks here with all of this bamboo. It's actually not very much bamboo, but some of the bamboo, we can may as well expand this farm actually. So we can do sticks from Fletcher's. We can also do paper. Paper's a good one. There's stone, there's all kinds of other items you can use, and there's that as well. So we'll go through here, make these. We may as well harvest our crops. I know some all kind of randomly harvest crops. Now here's something cool. So this is a Fortune 3 pickaxe, 54 durability. Watch this. We're going to break this entire line of crops. Not only does Fortune work on crops, which I'm sure you know because I mention it very often, but as well as that, the durability, still 54, so it actually takes 0 durability to break crops, which is really cool. I'm not sure why it takes 0 durability. I think because the game just doesn't really think you're breaking a full block, maybe because it's instantly mined, I'm not exactly sure. But more or less, you can take a tool that's almost completely broken, technically a gold, shovel or something with Fortune 3, 0 durability, or 1 durability, is going to be just as efficient and be just as good of a tool for this as maybe a, high durability diamond tool or netherite tool. So it's really cool that way because, sometimes I think I had a comment ask this a while ago. They said, what do you do with all these random sort of gold tools you find? I mean, in the ancient portals, or not ancient portals, ruined portals, you find these a lot, right? And what's the point of them? What do you do with them? Mostly what you do is you can use them for that. You can use them for sort of taking the enchantment for other purposes. Now you can do the same thing with a silk touch hoe or shovel or some other, thing that's not super useful. If it's, let's say, made with gold from a portal, and you can use that for the coral fans, and the coral fans also do not take any durability off as far as I remember. Same with the full coral blocks. You can break those with any tool, and they're going to give them to you. Now of course certain things like the full coral blocks don't work, but there's the coral and there's the coral fans, and those 2 do work. And it's always confusing with coral because there's coral, which is almost like a coral fan, and then there's the coral blocks and there's the coral fans, so it's kind of a confusing system there. But the coral are sort of shaped like grass a bit, the way that they generate, and the fans are kind of shaped more like maybe more like a crop. Yeah, it's kind of interesting there. And we've almost filled up our crop field here, and then after that we will now be able to go on to the rest of this. So we have a lot of stuff here. I don't actually know what ones of these the villagers are interested in. The great thing is, and I've not been utilizing this at all, but we have a ton of shulker boxes, so may as well get some of those shulker boxes, pack them in the shulker boxes, and sort of get ourselves ready to sell to those villagers, because of, again, for now, we're just looking for a couple mending villagers. We're not looking for anything crazy, just things that are going to help us more in the short term. In the long term, of course, we will be making a villager trading hall. I'm sure that trading hall will be at our mega base. But for now, again, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go through the entire process. And we actually have a lot of diamonds too. We have about 55 diamonds, and that's on top of all those new pickaxes that we made. Technically, we could even, like, if we want to be very wasteful, you can technically do a thing where you combine this with its tool or with its material. So here we could like mend this up, but like the problem is it's not really the diamonds being wasted, although it kind of is. It's the fact that the levels will get higher and higher, and so eventually if you do it too much, especially on something like a sword that's really hard to get up to its full levels anyway, it'll actually just become too expensive no matter what you try. So generally, unless a tool has fully perfectly enchanted already, you don't really want to do that. But we could also do the same thing with, let's say, our elytra and some phantom membranes if we had those. Okay, so we'll get those shulker boxes. I'm not exactly sure where they are. I guess they're right here. I'm not sure where they are, and I find them immediately, of course. And we'll go over this way and we will sort of fill up with that. We'll also grab some of the sugar cane. That could be useful as well. We can craft that into paper. Paper is something that the librarians like. Someone asks, have you ever tried to live for a longer period of time / build up a base area in the Nether or the End? I challenged myself recently to try the Nether, and it is really fun so far. I have, I think I've tried it a couple times. It's a series I wanted to do actually, or maybe not a series, but at least a video. It's how to beat Minecraft starting in the Nether, and it's not super easy, but it's fairly doable. Basically, all you need to do is sort of go through the whole progression chain, but in the Nether. And of course, your goal would be to eventually make it back to the overworld. It's actually a really cool challenge because it's kind of fully set out by Minecraft, since all you have to do is literally just start a world with cheats, teleport yourself into the Nether, turn off cheats, the end, and there you go. Or you could even, you know, create a portal into the Nether, then break the portal and throw all your items away if you want to do it in fully vanilla or fully non-cheats. So it's quite a fun challenge, and yeah, like you'd kind of, some of the tricks, for instance, to doing that would be that you would want to have sort of a good supply of fuel. Now, fuel may not seem like the first issue, but fuel is a big issue because iron. You need iron for buckets, you need iron for lava buckets, and lava buckets are your fuel. And so basically, it's very hard to get that fuel in the Nether. And so because of that, you know, what you would start off by doing, of course, is going to a warp to Crimson Forest, getting your wood there, getting everything else there. Maybe I'll do a live stream sometime of Nether Survival. That could actually be quite fun. Of course, food also is quite a challenge, and so, yeah, it is quite a fun challenge for sure. So we have some sugar cane, we have some of this. Where we harvest this, actually, these things grow so efficiently, we may as well. I don't know how much more dirt we have around here we could use. Probably not a lot. No, like there's none. Just what we can see. So we'll pick that up there, and we are going to head back to our base. And it's actually funny because I might find one here. The goats here, I can think of the word, the goats over here have been sort of losing their horns quite a bit. If you notice, most of the goats here only have one horn now because they knocked the other one off, and you see them like jumping there and stuff. So a bunch of these, funny enough, only have one goat horn on, and because of that, like even this guy right here, poor Mr. Goat there, does not have a second goat horn, and so basically they do break off and they'll despawn, unfortunately. It'd be kind of cool if they didn't despawn. They'd be like a invisible item frame on the ground kind of an idea. They just sit there, you know, like in real life. I've found, like, you know, interesting things sort of in the woods or whatever. You can find, like, you know, like a broken off deer antler or something, and so it's kind of similar to the goat horn where it wouldn't really degrade that quickly. It's kind of bone. So it would make more sense if it didn't despawn, but it does. And so because of that, you have to sort of actively watch them because they'll break those off. You know, maybe when we were, you know, at the beginning of the stream, they might have done that. And now they despawn by now because they only have 5 minutes. You know, unfortunately, those kinds of things are actually pretty common. Now, let's see if we can take a look here. We have most things we need, I think. We'll think about a couple other things as well. I guess some building blocks would be good. If we have some emeralds already, we'll definitely grab those. And I think we actually built a base at the village. And I think at that base we have some good stuff. In fact, look at that, almost a stack of emeralds. That's great. I think we are good then. And we do have a portal that goes there as well, so we're kind of getting another transport system here. We don't have to walk back. We can sort of go over there and find that, which is good. So we'll go through the portal, and actually our axe is pretty good. It's okay. Just want to make sure we have a good axe so we can kind of cycle through the items, through the lecterns, not the items. And if there's no skeletons nearby, we'll just make sure we have everything here for sure. Then we can kind of go from there. Someone says, do I have Discord? Well, I definitely have Discord. There's literally a link to my Discord server pinned. And there's also a message there by one of the mods that says my Discord invite link right there. So if anyone wants to message me on there, unfortunately I do have DMs off. However, I'm not offended by people pinging me. So if you go at Eyecraftmc and if you want to send me a message, you can do that on Minecraft chat or general chat or one of these. Of course not, you know, sending me too many messages, but I don't mind reading some messages and responding if I can. I just unfortunately have to have my DMs off, not really by choice, but just because I have a very large number of people that try to talk to me, a lot of, you know, spammers, lots of sort of business things I don't want to deal with. And so because of that, I've had to turn off my DMs to friends only. So, you know, if you actually did want to discuss like something business related or like that, you can send a friend request. But that's why I'll decline any friend request that's not business related, is because I have to sort of focus it like that so that I'm not getting absolutely spammed with messages, since it's important to keep up on the important ones. So through here, we'll go Discord, through here we have the spawn, and the spawn has a village. And the village is just over here. We'll take a look. And at that village, we do have a village base. So at the village base, we have all kinds of different stuff, mostly stuff that's going to help us. You know, a bit of a sugarcane farm growing. Maybe we could sort of increase the size of that. Maybe plant down this bamboo. Could be smart, since as we're waiting, it'll just kind of be sitting there. So in fact, we will do that. We'll make ourselves, you know, we'll just use all of our items. We'll invest some of them into growing, I guess. So that kind of works well, right? It's always good to do that really in Minecraft, is to sort of have a good mix of what you're doing with the items you get. You know, of course, let's say, for instance, you get diamonds, you only make armor with it. Well, that's not a good idea. You want to, of course, start by those vitals by spending it on the pickaxe and maybe on an enchanting table. And then, of course, after that, then making the armor is a good idea. So we'll go over here. I believe, yeah, there's the base. There's it's not huge, but we have some stuff, even some things smelting, some glass smelting, I guess. Right, because one of those was trading the glass panes, I believe. So we're probably utilizing that. We'll put down these empty shulkers for now. I forgot we had so much here. It must have been a while ago. And in here, we can sort of grab all these items and move them over. Just like this. And we can, of course, sell with some of the other villagers that are here. That should work pretty well. And we'll grab, of course, all that. I guess the seeds, I didn't really have to bring seeds, but we'll have them here anyway, so there's that as well. And we actually have a super chat from Grace Parker, and I'll read it in just a second here when it pops on the screen. Grab the things out of here. We have those seeds, and these are empty as well. There we go. It says, I recently got back into Minecraft after not playing since 1.10. I think 1.10 came out in 2016, I think. Maybe 2015. No, I think 2016. These updates came out really quick. Either way. So about 2016, 20 in there. And they said your videos have been very helpful, teaching me new stuff. Just wanted to say thanks. Well, I'm so glad that you enjoy my videos and they've been helpful. There's a lot of changes since 1.10. I forgot. I don't remember. I can't forget. I can't remember. I can forget. I cannot remember when 1.10 came out there. I guess I could look it up. But anyway, I'm very glad I can help you with that. And of course, you know, 1.13, 1.14, 1.16, 1.18, 1.19 have all been huge updates. The other ones not so much, but of course because of that, you sort of have to be aware of all these new features because they do affect a lot. We'll get this guy to turn into a librarian. Are we going to get instant mending? We are not, because that is just not our luck. And we're going to go through here. Infinity, that's pretty good. But we're not keeping it. We're going mending only this time. Maybe efficiency 5 or unbreaking 3 I might. But even then, oh, there's this guy. Got it. Punch one. We can do 2 of these now, I guess. There we go. and you are quick charge 1. So these are useless. And this is kind of the whole process. So if you're wondering, how do you get mending books, right? It's obviously important. Literally, place down lecterns, have them take up the profession, check the profession. Oh, there's mending. Wait a minute, wait. I don't know what lectern that was, so I cannot break anything. I gotta quickly trade with that one. So there's mending, but that was a lot quicker than I thought, actually. That's good. But yeah, basically what'll happen is there's a chance for every single enchantment. So of course, not everyone, actually. There's a couple that don't. But that one was, of course, mending. And so because of that, we'll now trade with this one. We'll lock it in. But look at that. We better have Pog spammed in the chat there because we got mending. It's pretty good, actually. It's actually really good. It's going to affect us a lot. And 16 emeralds is quite cheap. We literally just need books. And in fact, now that I think of it, I should have brought some of those library books, or I don't know, library books, bookshelves, whatever you want to call them. Let's try and get a bookshelf trade on the other one. So I think that this is its workstation. We did lock it in, so we're good. This one does have the bookshelf trade, but it doesn't have anything else good. So let's try and get bookshelf and book on this one. We don't want to lock in anything useless. And then we can kind of get that mending book, get a couple mending books, really. Here we go. Unbreaking one. Well, it's not a very good book. But that's kind of the idea. We want one of one. We want one of one. We want one of the books. That's a good book. We also want some of the library bookshelves there. So we'll break this, replace it. Again, I've got a bunch of villagers here, all unemployed. Kind of cycle through these. This one any good? And there's infinity. That's pretty good. I can't really go against that one. So we'll grab a little bit. We don't want to buy too many. These are pretty expensive. Kind of a waste to not just go back, but I mean, whatever. We have some cheap trades, actually. In fact, I'll show you one of them. It's a very good trade. This is a river, of course, because rivers are common in Minecraft, and this is clay. And clay spawns in rivers, and clay spawns sometimes in very shallow oceans, and of course in swamps. And when you break clay, and also in lush caves, a lot actually. When you break clay, you get clay balls. There's 4 clay balls per 1 clay block. And what's amazing is that the mason with no discounts is 10 clay balls for 1 emerald, which is actually a great trade, because like right there, we just got a couple emeralds, super easy, from just like a couple pieces of the clay. And if you do enough mining, you can very easily get yourself hundreds of emeralds without any discounts by literally just mining up clay and selling it. And of course, if you find a lush caves are insanely full of clay. Really cool, actually, that they've done that, because clay is super useful. It's a sort of a block very similar to logs in the sense where there is so many things that are crafted out of them. It's like a parent item, maybe would be a good way of putting it. And yeah, there's just a ton of things that you can get from it. And so because of that, of course, it's more common now. Don't want to drown. Because it's more common. And of course, it's not just limited to rivers anymore, although it has been in rivers generating like that since a very long time ago. So we will mine these. And that's probably enough. You can kind of see now that I've mined like more than 2, that this is quite an efficient method. It's not actually inefficient at all. The idea would be per 2.5 clay blocks you mine, you get an average of 1 emerald, or you get exactly 1 emerald, because there's no drop rate fluctuations no matter what you mine it with. There's all of our librarians there, and there's also there's a lot of good villagers here, actually. We should definitely make sure to protect this area since it's important to us. Yeah, like right here, we just got ourselves a whole bunch of the emeralds, just from some clay balls, which is just so incredibly easy to get. There's our mending villager. Let's buy mending. We just got 4 mending books right there. We actually have a 5th mending book, which is awesome. We can buy even more if we get some more emeralds, which we can do through the farmers if we want. We do have our crops. Now, do we need more than 5 mending books? Probably not. I guess we technically do, because we need enough for our good armor and our good tools. Like this sword should have it. These should have it, so that's 3. This hoe should have it, so that's 4. Our armor eventually should have it, so that's 5. So we should have about 9 books. 9 books is about enough. I think they'll sell you 12 per kind of trade cycle, so it shouldn't be too hard just to harvest a bit more clay, get some more emeralds, and then kind of go from there. We'll go this way. Let's take a look at the clay deposits we can find. Now, they could also be fairly low, but they tend to be near the surface. They don't really generate if they're really low down. So we'll go this way. And something that one of our mods, Tori, just said in chat there, is to remember to like the stream. If you're watching the stream and you're enjoying the stream, be sure to like it, because it really does help YouTube recommend it to more people. We'll get even more viewers, an even more hyped stream, and more people will see it once it's in a VOD form as well, in a listed video there. So be sure to like the stream, and then more people will see it, and also then you will see more of my streams recommended, I think. Although of course YouTube changes their system so much, I'm not 100% on that one anymore. It's nighttime, we should definitely sleep because this village is so important to us. I cannot believe the number of people who will play Minecraft and it'll turn to night and they're in a village and they will not sleep. And it just is not a good idea. You always want to sleep if you're in a village, always, no matter what. And unless it's walled off and spawn-proofed, which is very rare, of course. And so because of that, what you're going to do is it'll stop the zombies from spawning in, it'll stop them from ever killing the villagers. It seems obvious, and I'm sure, you know, everyone who's hearing this is like, well, of course, that makes sense, but a lot of people don't do it, and so it's important to remember that. To always have the materials with you so that you can sleep. It's really a good idea. So we're going to go down here, we're going to mine the rest of this out. There's actually a lot of clay here. You know, clay and diamonds generation used to be connected, which was a very cool thing. I had a video on it a very long time ago. I would not recommend watching it. It's a very old video. But it was all the rage for a while, and more or less it was that you could kind of, not x-ray, but you could sort of very accurately determine where diamonds would be depending on clay patches. And so because of that, if you found clay, it would always be exciting, because then from that clay you would be able to find also some diamond ore nearby. Alright, and we have a decent amount of the clay balls now, and we'll go this way. And we'll go here as well. And I guess we have 5 stacks of clay balls, which is pretty good. We're going to go over here to where where the smelters are. I don't know, I was going to call the masons smelters, but we'll go this way. There's of course one mason. We have at least 2 masons, so we're doing good. I got tons of emeralds there. Well, 5, which is better than nothing. I think their trades were running low, so there's that. And we'll take a look here for the other one. It might be at its house, might be somewhere else. Here's its work site. It sort of has a shop and a house. It's a rich villager, I guess. And we'll try and find that. But it's very sort of standard spawn. This world definitely, you know, the massive mountains we live in are the cool part. Not really the spawn point, sort of just plains and river and forest and very standard things, very normal things. But the village being here is quite nice. Not necessarily that common, although it's fairly common. What we'll also do is we'll actually start sorting through our items at our little base over here, and we can kind of start getting the other trades available. We have this cartographer. Now they buy glass, and we actually prepared glass for that, so let's do that trade. It's a good trade. We'll get lots of emeralds from that. We do need quite a few emeralds for these mending trades because they're not discounted. Maybe we can try discounting the trades of that one villager. But I don't really think we could that easily. The problem is we'll have to either move it or basically protect the entire village, and of course both those things are kind of difficult. So this one here, actually there's 2 of them, they're both restocked, or maybe there's 3. There's at least 2. So we'll grab the clay balls over here. We will convert these into our emeralds through this really cheap trade. Masons are definitely like the best cheap emerald trade villager there is. They'll buy clay balls, they'll buy stone. Literally you can discount that for 1 stone for 1 emerald, which is completely stupid honestly, but you can. And there is additionally things where they'll actually buy like andesite, diorite, granite. You know, people don't like those, and a lot of people don't like diorite for whatever reason, although I actually quite like diorite. You can use that as well to sort of sell those instead of just throwing them away. We need more books, I guess, so I really don't want to buy it from this villager. I guess we will. Just 1. It's definitely a rip-off. I think my Discord, what's it called? Banner, I guess, is that this funny thing of a villager trying to sell you, I think it is 64, maybe it's 1 rotten potato, poisonous potato for, yeah, I think it's 1 poisonous potato for a stack of emeralds or something funny, which I could definitely see a villager trying that trade. They're not maybe the most kind business villagers. It's always funny what they'll try and kind of do to rip you off. You have to literally like basically force them to give you good trades with zombifying them and curing them. But we're pretty close actually to having enough stuff, enough books. So what we'll do, we can't really, use them all right now anyway. Let's actually plant down that bamboo like I was saying earlier. I think that's probably a good idea, a good method of getting ourselves more of these crop items just around the village. They'll be rendering in and growing as we are here. And because we're near the spawn actually, they might, probably not actually, no they wouldn't have, but if they're really close I think they would actually grow if they're at the spawn too, which is pretty cool. So we could technically plant these closer and have them always be grown when we come back. Put down the bamboo too, and we'll go over here and place them all down. And yeah, I think that, of course having a big crop field of the bamboo is a good thing. We can kind of do that. And of course, as my moderators are saying in the chat, be sure to join my Discord. I do have that pinned, and also there's some links in the chat there and other links. And look at this amazing, oh my goodness. I cannot believe how good this trade is. It is 27 emeralds for Curse of Binding. That is our life goal now, is to buy this book. We have Curse of Binding here, of course. Discounted 1 emerald too, right? So you have that benefit of, not 28 emeralds, just 27 emeralds. What is that, 3% off? What amazing Black Friday sales we have here at with these librarians. But either way, of course to get it to actually good trade, we're going to need some more emeralds. So we'll get the plants out, and we'll start sort of trading with the farmers there. We actually have a super chat here from Gabe Caps, and it is for $5, and it says nothing, but thank you very much for that anyway. Yeah, I do try and respond to any super chats. I try and respond to a lot of things in the chat. It just is difficult because it's fairly active. Let's go trade with this. I love this trade here actually. The 1 emerald or the 6 bread for an emerald. Quite a good trade for sure. We'll sell out all of our carrots since we don't really need carrots. Carrots are unfortunately fairly useless. It's funny because most people think the carrots are useful because of pigs, and pigs are okay. The problem with pigs is the fact that you don't need to use carrots. You can actually use potatoes and beetroot just as efficiently. Just like with the, chickens, where most people use wheat seeds, even though you can use any type of seed. It is the exact same with the pigs. You can breed them with potatoes or carrots or beetroots. It does not have to be just carrots, although of course carrots are kind of the traditional one to use. Not sure why, maybe because like in media it's often portrayed that pigs like carrots, although I'm sure they'd probably like beetroots and potatoes just as much in real life too. Let's try and find those other farmers. I did see multiple, I believe, because I think there's a couple more farms around here, so we'll look for that and take a look. Someone said golden carrots. Technically true, although I've never found crafting golden carrots to be a good use. Almost always villagers are better. So it's almost one of those things again where like, should things be rebalanced? Probably, right? Like for instance, let's say they remove the golden carrot trade. Here's another one we can sell things to. If they remove the golden carrot trade, then people would be forced to build gold farms more, and they kind of build them already, but you'd be forced to grow carrots, or at least have an automatic carrot farm, which is that a bad thing? Probably not. So again, sort of things like that, kind of debatable, but oftentimes good to think through. Maybe in a lot of scenarios it is better to have things be more limited, and this one's actually offering infinity as well. We do not need that. There might be more emeralds sort of stored in here. It doesn't look like it though. We can sell some more of these glass panes actually. That's a good one. And then after that we'll probably just be done with trading, and we're going to go back to, I guess, mining out for a little bit. Because yeah, we still have a bit, at least another hour on the stream here. So let's take a look here. We've done a lot actually very quickly, which is good. We have the cartographer. So here we go. We're going to do 11 panes for an emerald. This is not a very painful trade. It's actually a very painful trade, technically. We got some more glass panes, and we'll then craft with those to the villager there. And I hope that people enjoy this series as much as I've enjoyed live streaming it. This is basically my first live stream series. hopefully not my last one. And I've found at every stage of it to be really fun and also just a great way of communicating and connecting with my awesome audience and community, which is of course everyone watching right now and everyone watching on the VOD, which is like the listed video of this after it's done. So thank you to everyone for doing that, and I'm really enjoying these. It's been great to do these whole streams and things. And of course, we have a lot of different interesting things we've done as well. All right, so we need books. We actually have some. So we'll buy the books from here. I think that's probably good, honestly. We'll have technically enough books, I believe. That's the wrong villager. It's this one. It's giving us like no XP for that. But that's okay. So we have, let's see, we have 9 mending books. So 9 mending books is decent. I think that is enough because I did the math. Now technically it's not enough because, you know, once we get a better axe we'll need that there and all these things. But in general it should be good. So shriekers tend to spawn and someone said I need XP to mend though. Well, that is true, and that's called the Deep Dark biome, which is basically called the XP farm replacement biome. Not really a replacement, but sort of an alternative. A lesser alternative, but still a good alternative for sure. I'll just move my microphone here. I could do ASMR, but I'm not. Anyway, we're gonna go over here, and we'll sleep there, and then of course from that point, we'll head back. We'll enchant things. We're at level 30, so we might do like a kind of standard enchantment, and then we'll go from there, so we don't lose it. And of course we can do that. I guess we'll leave the shulker boxes here. Don't really need them. We'll leave the loot. We'll leave all these things. They can be here, and yeah, I think that should be fine. So we'll just grab these books. We'll put the shulkers down, I guess. We'll bring one. We don't need this many shulkers really. We'll leave the panes. We'll leave the emeralds, the lecterns. That should be good. So we'll head back, I think, and then we will. From that point, the portal's over here, so our elytra is, well, doesn't have mending on it, so we're going to mend all our elytras. I may put mending on 2 elytras. I hope we have an unbreaking book somewhere. I think we might have actually in the stronghold, and I didn't grab it. If someone remembers if there is an unbreaking book in the stronghold, please tell me in the live chat right now, and I will definitely go and grab that. But if not, we'll try and get unbreaking on that elytra as well, since that's super important. And then of course with an unbreaking 3 mending elytra, we have infinite flight. Someone said, have I ever been told I sound like the Valorant YouTuber Eggwick? I've never been told that, no. There are some, sometimes people tell me I sound like this person or this person, and sometimes I'll hear it a little bit, not too much. Maybe just the way I speak or something, I'm not sure, but yeah, I've never really found someone I think sounds exactly like me. I'm sure there is. There's not that many ways people can sound, really. We'll go this way, and we'll go over here, and we have a super chat that says, I didn't know how to do super chats. Well, there you go. Now you can send a message with it there, and you now know how. I think we're going the wrong way, actually. I think we go here. There we go. Well, thank you for the super chat there, Gabe Katz, and I appreciate that a lot. And we're going to go over here, and we're, of course, going to enchant our things and get mending. I mean, mending is a big leap between early game and late game Minecraft, so this is a really exciting moment, honestly, although I guess we could underplay it a bit, but ideally it's really good. You'll notice something there, actually. So that skeleton shot an arrow at me. It bounced off. I'm not sure if that was supposed to happen, but that was very interesting, probably because we were kind of not there since we were teleporting through. Anyway, so we'll take a look at any tools we may need. Better tools. We could do another hoe, actually. Take a look at doing another hoe. We do have the almost broken hoe. We have so many diamonds, so we don't have to worry. So let's try and get a better hoe. This will help us with mending things, because we're going to use it to sort of harvest the skulk. It's not really harvesting it, but, you know, close enough. And we'll go over here, and we will, of course, enchant that with the lapis that's over here. And that is Unbreaking 3. Let us hope that there is efficiency, please. Look at that. That's actually really good. Because fortune's not that important on a hoe, unless we're mining leaves with it. And of course, Silk Touch is what we do not want, so that's really good. Now what we should do, because we're at level 27, is we should enchant what we need. And so let's start by looking for the Elytra. Let's grab the least durability one. This one's 4, so that's the least. We'll look for an Unbreaking book for sure. We'll go over here. Someone was asking where I'm from. I am from Canada, which means I sound slightly different to Americans, but I don't have as strong of an accent as, let's say, if I was from England. Let's go over here. And I guess I will just enchant this with Mending. I was hoping we had Unbreaking. Again, there may be Unbreaking at the Stronghold. I'm not sure. We will name this, though. We'll name it Eyecraftmc. That's kind of a funny name, like Eyecraftmc. And we'll do this. Someone said, what type of world is this? Well, it's a good question, because you may think it's amplified because of the crazy mountains. It is not amplified. It is standard terrain. It is 1.19.2 generated in 1.19, and it is survival, hard mode. Any other information you want I can give, but that's about all I know. And we'll go over here. So we now have Mending. We can just mend this up really easy, but let's get the rest of our things to have Mending too. We'll start with what we know for a fact needs Mending, like for instance, our Silk Touch and our Fortune Pickaxe. It's a pretty easy choice. So we'll throw that on here. These are now perfect, by the way, which is awesome. This one's not actually, it needs Unbreaking as well, but it's close to perfect. This is literally a perfect tool, the Silk Touch Pickaxe, our first perfect tool technically. So that's great. The chest plate is almost perfect, so we'll put it on the chest plate too. The leggings are almost perfect. We'll put it on the leggings, and in fact, here's something really fun. Let's put Swift Sneak 3 on our leggings, because then we will build a Swiftly Sneak. Well, that's very expensive, but there we go. That's a perfect leggings too. Let's name this. We'll call it Eyes Leggings. There we go. I think that's good. I mean, I know there's thorns, but I'm not a big fan of thorns. And we're now out of levels, but look at that. We have our perfect leggings. Let's try Swiftly Sneaking. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that is cool. I've not used Swift Sneak that much, just because I don't really bother with it, but man, that is so cool. Look how quickly we're going when we're sneaking. That is so fun. When we raid the Deep Dark next time, which we'll do with some night vision potions, this will be super fun. Like, just look at this. We're walking, we're sneaking. I think we're almost sneaking quicker than walking. I think it's the exact same speed. Seems so quickly. Listen, we're just like flying around. That's so funny how weird it looks. Like, I wonder if our legs look really weird. Yeah, it's like they're moving really quick. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, Minecraft's updated sort of sneaking and moving a bit actually recently, because there's this, but there's also the ability to crawl in Java, and there is the fact of that crouching is now more. So crouching was a little bit shorter. We have very deep crouches now. You go to a block and a half tall. Used to go to I think it was like 1.85 blocks tall or something like this. I forget exactly, but it was much less of a drop. And I don't actually think the hitbox changed when you crouched. So we have our armor much improved now. And we also, of course, have all these other things. We'll put the Mending in here. Remember, it's there. I'll bring books next time we're at the villagers. That's a good idea. And we are going to mend our things. And again, I don't think there's anything super important. I guess we could put Mending on here. At this stage, does not matter that much. So we will go down our strip mine into our sort of... We've been here twice already, I think now, maybe 3 times, but pretty good. We'll do the amazing drop and drop. There we go. It's so fun. Ooh, it's crazy. So we go on the side so we don't die. That is insanely quick. Actually, that's too low now. Here we go. Okay, and we'll just use the hoe. So to do this, what you want to do, you want to have the thing in your offhand or equipped, either one. We'll actually de-equip everything, and then we'll just put the Elytra in our slot there. Actually break the Elytra. Here's something kind of fun. Some people don't even see this texture because they always add Mending on instantly. You can break Elytra, and you probably do know this, but it's kind of interesting. We can get this to a broken texture. We'll try flying with it for a second. That'll definitely get it to break. There we go, it broke. And I should not have done that, I almost died. But either way, it is broken, so you can see it's kind of broken texture. It does not matter because we have Mending, of course, but yeah, that's kind of what Elytra looks like when it's broken, like this. It's different texture. It's like the only item in the game that breaks instead of like disappears, basically, vanishes. But either way, now that it's equipped, look how quick this will be. We'll just mine these blocks, and super, super quickly, this should be completely mended. Very, very fast. We actually have a super chat, another one from Gabe Katz, and it says, would you consider using chunk base to be cheating? I would not consider that to be cheating at all. I think it does depend, because you can use seeds for a lot of things that are pretty well cheating. Like, for example, you know, let's say copying your world onto a different, you know, and finding diamonds there. I mean, technically it is kind of cheating in a sense, because obviously there's like, you know, like the golden apple finders and stuff. But actually recently I'm working on a video actually where I discuss ways of using chunk base. It's not about chunk base, but I do discuss ways of using it. So I would definitely not suggest it to be cheating. I think there's valid reasons for not using it as well. So that's what I would say. I think, you know, cheating is literally cheating, you know, turning on cheats. So that would be what I would consider cheating. Obviously, I guess maybe, you know, full-on item dupes, like where it dupes every item, that's pretty well cheating, of course. But outside of things like that, I would say that people can just play how they want, and there's not much of a point of sort of feeling guilty over playing one way or the other. The best way is to play the way that you enjoy. Although I would say that most people, whether they know it or not, will enjoy the game more the more they sort of don't cheat. Although again, I would not consider chunk base to be cheating, or something that I think it kind of adds to the game, doesn't really subtract from it. You know, for me personally, I work a lot with maps, just in Minecraft, and I really enjoy them in real life too. And so for chunk base, we have this map of our world. I found that increases the game's enjoyment for me instead of decreases it personally. Now we're leveling up both these really quick. It's actually crazy how fast these are mended. We'll move around a torch so we can see what we're doing on the stream, because it's very dark here in the deep dark. Who would have guessed? And we'll go through here and we'll clean up all this. Again, sort of mending around what we're doing, and kind of going like that. And of course, we have here some near the entrance as well. We'll grab this, and we'll kind of mend these. And someone says the XP is not going up because of the Elytra being on, or whatever else I'm wearing. That's exactly right. So that is, it does look weird, right? We're getting all this XP and it's not going anywhere. We'll actually know when our things are mended, when our XP starts going up. So in fact, now it's gone up. Both these things are mended and they look perfect, which is really cool. So we'll put these back on. We actually didn't have to take those off. What we will do now is we'll put this in our offhand. These will take a while actually to mend. So we'll start getting XP here. Not too long, but it will take a minute. And we'll mine through here. This is definitely quicker than, let's say, a mob farm. If anyone has any questions, again, I can answer these as I'm mending this, as there is not too much to do. And if I didn't answer your question last time, feel free to ask it again. Because if I did not answer, it means I did not see it. And I know there's a lot I missed there. This could actually have a shrieker, but I don't care. Let's go through here. I care a little bit. I care a little bit, but I don't really want to... I don't really care about summoning an warden, honestly. They're not that dangerous. They're really not. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, as long as we're fairly careful, we're going to be fine. Someone said favorite passive mob. Favorite passive mob... I like the mushroom a lot. I think the brown mushroom especially, very good mob, very underrated mob. You know, its suspicious stew abilities are unparalleled in terms of use. So yeah, probably the brown mushroom. I'll keep mining all these. You get a little bit more XP when you mine like the sensors and stuff. Just something to know if you're trying to get a lot of XP from this. Make sure to mine the specialized blocks as well as the non-specialized. Let's say something like a catalyst, it's very hard to get more of an sort of renewable way. Someone said, what's my favorite villager texture? Well, my favorite villager texture is actually the... probably the swamp ones. I love the swamp villagers. Are kind of purple and green, and they have a lily pad on their head. What more could you ask for, really? I definitely enjoy the swamp villager textures. Of those textures, maybe the librarian, because the librarian there has the red of the hat, so it really does sort of nice colors and things there. So yeah, probably the swamp librarian, I guess. Very specific answer, but that's probably what it is. I'd have to take a double check to make sure, but yeah, that's what I would say. Someone said how much better is netherite armor than diamond? In terms of durability, it's about 30%. So you go from about 15... Well, actually, that's tools. So with tools, it's about 30%. I would assume it's similar on armor, but I don't remember the exact numbers. What makes it good with armor is you have the knockback resistance. Now, knockback resistance is a huge deal. There's also less fire damage you take. That's also a massive deal. And speaking of a massive deal, we just had a super chat from Dirtbag for $50 with a fighting super effective, super effective super sticker there of the fighting game controller. So it's fun, the super stickers there, quite a cool thing that YouTube has. And thank you very, very much to Dirtbag for that incredibly generous donation of the super sticker. Of course, super chats and super stickers are some of the best ways of supporting me directly, and I use the funds from those to pay for my Minecraft server, and the same with the memberships. And actually, we have a new feature, which is if you become a channel member and your Discord is linked, you can actually get access to this VIP section of my Discord, as long as those two are linked. And if you have trouble viewing that, if you are a member, then just talk to one of the moderators, and they should be able to help you link your Discord to your YouTube channel. And mine over here, we're almost done, which is awesome. With this one, we have to do the other one still. It's cool that unbreaking does not add any more sort of extra time needed to mend things, although it kind of should, but it doesn't, which is good. There's some more XP on the ground. We can probably just grab those and should be almost done. So close. We're at 30 more durability, so just a little bit more. We should probably get some more torches. That would be probably a good idea. You can see more that way. And if we keep going through here, there we go. So we'll switch this again. We're getting through here pretty quick, actually. Seems like it takes a while. It might seem like it's slower than a mob farm. It really isn't. Of course, it's a lot slower than an Enderman farm, but an Enderman farm is not your normal mob farm, although we will be building an Enderman farm soon. Deep Dark is such an amazing biome. I'm not sure how used it is. I haven't seen a lot of people necessarily using it, but it is a very, very good biome to have for utility, like the Mesa, let's say. You know, not a lot of people build in the Mesa for, you know, decently good reason. The Mesa is okay, but obviously other than like a Wild West build, that's a bit weird. And so because of that, just like the Deep Dark, right, you can build in it, you can live there, but it's much more useful as a utility biome just to collect materials. And with here, it's XP and ores, and, you know, it's also peaceful mode, so we don't actually need torches at all. We just have them so it's easier to see. But the Deep Dark is peaceful mode, which is really, really, really cool. And we'll just kind of keep going through here and mining all these. Someone said our Enderman farm easy to build. They're actually incredibly easy to build. And maybe in the next episode we'll build one on stream. I do want to build some farms on stream, but I may wait until I have my own farm tutorial on certain things. As I'm not sure if I can't really... I can follow my own tutorial on a stream, but I couldn't follow someone else's because of copyright. So we'll take a look at that, but I might also build one off camera. But yeah, actually the Enderman farms are very easy. They basically just take leaf blocks and some slabs, and you're good to go. You know, the biggest trick I would suggest to anyone building basically any farm is that slabs almost always work in place of full blocks. And there's so many times when people will suggest, oh, we'll build it out of blocks or out of this. And it's like, well, you could, but if you're collecting, you know, a full shulker box full of blocks for something, that's a lot. And if you replace that with slabs and it works just as well, of course making sure they're, you know, facing the upwards, not lower slabs, then you can, you know, use half the items for the same farm. Or even have double the size of farm for the same number of items, depending on sort of how you're thinking about that, I guess. And yeah, it looks like our tools, again, are looking very mended, which is awesome. My live streaming thing just... there we go. Alright, anyway. And yeah, basically we have that. And of course, it does require an endermite. That sort of angers the enderman. You could make them without an endermite, technically, but it would be, like, super inefficient. And the endermite itself just needs like a name tag. Endermites are fairly deadly. I did cover them recently in a video about ender pearls, not extensively because they're not that complicated of a mob, but they're a very interesting mob. You know, I don't see why Mojang doesn't add more mobs to the Bane of Arthropods enchantment. I don't see why, because to me, it's only really useful against skeletons and what are they called? Silverfish and endermites. But, like, you know, there are certain sort of fantasy mobs in the game that, like, could be thought of as an arthropod, you know, sort of like a bug, basically, right? I mean, the warden could be an arthropod. It could be like a, you know, a sort of bug. That doesn't seem unrealistic to me. And I could also see, you know, even like a creeper. A creeper could be an arthropod. It isn't, but it could be, you know, so I don't know. Might be an idea. I doubt they ever will, since it's been around for so long, but, like, it just seems like one of those things where just, like, it's almost sort of just a comical thing that, you know, Bane of Arthropods even exists, because it's just, I mean, unless you have, like, a abandoned mine shaft, poisonous spider spawner XP farm, or just a spider spawner XP farm, it's like, I don't know why you'd ever really, really need Vein of Arthropods. But even like against Enderman, I mean, Enderman kind of look like an arthropod. Like, I don't see why it couldn't work against them. It definitely should. But not against, of course, not everything should have its own specialized enchantment, or then, what would be the point of sharpness? But still, I think that could be quite good. All right, so we're going to go this way. We've now mended both of these, and we can actually fly out of here because we have that. So it'll be kind of fun to fly out our big tunnel there. We can go it all the way. Someone said they died in their 1,000 days hardcore world. Unfortunately, that is what happens in hardcore. I think the thing about hardcore, and this is kind of brutal but true, is that you want to die in it, right? It was kind of your choice to die in your hardcore world, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't have turned it to hardcore. Now, obviously, you didn't want to die. But what I think I mean by that is that when people make their world hardcore, it's for one reason. It's to raise the stakes. It's to make things more interesting, to sort of to make the game seem more like real life and have more real challenges. But technically, at the core of that, all you're really doing is you're saying that you will let your world be deleted, kind of deleted, not really, if you die. Now, funny enough, there's actually a lot of ways you can cheat in hardcore, like very easy. I don't know why they made it so easy, but they did. And so obviously, even at that stage, let's say if someone dies, nothing's stopping them from, let's say, turning on cheats, going back to survival, except for the fact that it ruins the fun, right? Of course, it does ruin the fun, because we were talking about this earlier. Cheating ruins the fun of Minecraft. That's why, to me, I don't suggest cheating, not because it's morally wrong, because it's a video game, but just because, it makes it less fun. And sort of with hardcore, you're kind of sacrificing the fact that you'll die eventually by that sort of short-term hype. So it's kind of interesting. Not that hardcore is a bad thing at all, and not that I'm dissuading people from doing it. It's just that it is interesting that, like, technically, if you never did die in your hardcore world, would you really know it's hardcore? So that's kind of interesting to think about. But anyway, we need to go back to mine. So we have the elytra and we also have the fireworks here. We will fly back over. We can do that directly now, which is nice. Crazy how much quicker this will be too than even the nether, let's say, because it is pretty close. Just over here, maybe? Yes, there it is. You can already see we've chopped away a lot too. Like probably, I don't know, some percentage, maybe a third. Probably not a third, but some. And we can go over here and we can get away our sort of, we don't have anything really useless on us actually. We'll put an ender chest here. We haven't really used our ender chests, and there's nothing in it. But we could at some point use those. We'll put away all our garbage items here, not garbage, but just, not currently useful. And yeah, we can kind of go through here and do that. And I guess that's probably good. So let's mine the rest of these blocks out. And yeah, again, at this stage, if anyone has any questions, great time to ask, because I'm going to be mining out blocks, which is not that interesting to commentate on. We'll talk about the wonders of the stone block with Eyecraftmc, and we'll talk about every single pixel in its texture and sort of the exact RGB number of it. That would be incredibly interesting. But anyway, so if anyone has any questions, I can definitely answer those as I mine through all these blocks here, of course. What's the use of an ender chest? That's a good question. An ender chest is a universal chest. It's a chest that stays the same in every dimension, every single area that it's in. You only have one ender chest, you only have one storage in it. So you can have multiple ender chests, but the actual storage is only that of one single chest, not even a double chest. There's actually not a good reason why there isn't a double ender chest, but there isn't. Maybe there will be in an end update. And so basically it's mostly for servers, honestly, or if you're later game, it's for like convenient items. Of course, let's say something I would suggest doing is having different shulker boxes with different things in it. So for instance, a beacon box, a firework box, some building block box. I've done this in late game worlds before, and it tends to be a good idea. That's kind of the use of an ender chest, is, a portable storage, basically. But of course, in a server, like an Anarchy server, I mean, I don't even know what Anarchy would be like in Minecraft without ender chests. Ender chests are so important to Anarchy Minecraft, it's crazy. And so basically in there, it's a storage that no other player can get to, because every player has their own ender chest. It's kind of why in multiplayer it really goes to something cool, because then you have this, like, separated storage. the items in someone's ender chest are linked to their account, not to the they're not to their account. They're linked to their UUID file. I think that's what it's called. And so basically, let's say like your file corrupts, which doesn't really happen, but if it did, it's not stored in any specific like chunk, let's say like a normal chest would be. So it's stored in a completely different area too. It's quite interesting, but yeah, that's basically how the ender chests work, and maybe I'll make a video on them one day, I'm not sure. Probably not too big of a topic, but I've talked about them before a little bit, because they're really interesting. That's kind of what an ender chest does. How to find a stronghold. I have, if you want to know a lot more about that than I can say right here, because of time, I actually recently posted what's one of my favorite videos I've ever made, and apparently people didn't maybe agree, or maybe they didn't see it. Maybe YouTube didn't recommend it. It's probably the most likely. It is a complete guide to survival. It is 1 hour, I believe, something like that, and it goes from literally starting the world to getting full elytra. It is what I think is probably literally the ultimate Minecraft guide, like just period. If there's one video of mine you should watch if you've just started the game, it's 100% that video. If you're looking for how to find the stronghold, you can go to the chapters on that and find that section, because I actually cover it really well. I even talk about how to use parallax and other tricks like that to find that stronghold portal as efficiently as is possible. And that is how you find it, is in that video. I'll go over here. Someone said favorite building block. Well, that's a hard one. I think I've been asked this one before. It's obviously a fairly common question, but I'm not honestly sure, because I like building with a lot of things. I think last time I said it was spruce because it was the cheapest. I'm not actually sure if that's true. I do like the glazed terracottas. I do like the concrete. Of course, concrete's pretty basic. I'm very, very happy with the new 1.20 building blocks. I think that they're all adding a lot, like especially the chiseled bookshelves. Exactly the direction Minecraft should be going in terms of the specific features. I do think there should be more features, but I think they said they'll add more features anyway. That's actually a really cool thing, is we'll be getting piglin heads. The first new mob head since 1.9, which is really cool. Since 1.9 was the combat update. Yes, and of course there is the piglin heads in 1.20. We'll have that, so it'll be 11 updates later. We'll have the piglin heads. You can wear them. There'll be, of course, charged creeper explodes a piglin. I will discuss those more in a video coming up maybe next week. We'll see. Depends on what they release in the next snapshot. Mojang does tend to take a snapshot break around Christmas, and usually a fairly sizable break. So because of that, we're probably not going to see a lot of snapshots in sort of early January, late December. Likely, I would say 3 more snapshots max until they hit that break. And so because of that, I may end up covering things a little bit later on. But yeah, lots of interesting things happening there as well, actually, with those. What's my favorite building style? I like very complicated builds. I like builds that have an interior. I like maze-like builds. I really enjoy that. I kind of like the traditional building style too, you know, like if you watch a Minecraft video from, let's say, 2015 or older, sort of that style is what I would say I like. Not necessarily I think it's the nicest looking, but I just, I enjoy how it's very uninfluenced. I think it's kind of a natural building style. You know, it's something that's not influenced by a video or by something else. So that's what I would say is sort of my favorite building style, is that. Someone said they thought that Mojang said 1.20 would be playable by the end of the year. They actually never said that. They said they would be out sometime next year, which is what they always say. So yeah, but, it is playable though. So it actually was playable like 3 days after Minecraft Live. If you want to know how to play it, I actually have a video on that if you want to check my channel for that, and you'll see that it's fairly recent. It's basically, I think it's literally called How Do You Play Minecraft 1.20. So it's pretty obvious, and the video, it's how you do it's not necessarily obvious, but the video title is. So yeah, that would be the way you do that. And of course, the video is a little bit out of date. It will be when 1.19.3 comes out. You should be able to still use it to get yourself playing that newest version, which is playable, but they did not mean it would be released. So released like vanilla, you know, release version. My assumption is between April to June, somewhere in there, April to July. Basically just because like they literally cannot update, like put out an update before April in terms of like the way that sort of seasonal marketing and stuff works. And it's nowhere near finished right now. So it would either be December or it would be April, and it's definitely not December. So yeah, that's what I would say for that. And they did say 2023 anyway, so yeah, that would be when 1.20 will come out. Camels or horses in Minecraft? Camels. Camels are much better than horses in most ways. Horses can jump, that's a good thing, but horses are kind of, they're not that beneficial anymore, and they don't, you know, even like a donkey obviously is slower than a horse, but then you have that item that it holds. So, you know, it's actually hard to find, you know, a lot of distinct benefits to the horse anymore inside of Minecraft. A bit of an sort of retro thing, I guess would be, there's a word for it. I forget, outmoded or something, but whatever it is, it's basically that there's been other things added that are better than that. So horses are okay. Of course, you know, there's still benefits to them. They're still fun. It's just in general, you know, their big method is just, you know, their big benefit, that is fast transportation. Fast transportation is, you know, Elytra basically, so, or minecarts, and even then minecarts are so-so. Although I wish they weren't. I actually really enjoy minecarts. On what tools do I recommend Silk Touch? All of them. You should have a set of both. So you should have Silk Touch of every tool type and Fortune of every tool type. The only tool type you don't really need Fortune for is axes. But other than that, you don't have one of each, because Silk Touch pickaxe, obviously. Silk Touch axe because of mushroom blocks. Silk Touch shovel because of grass blocks, and Silk Touch hoe because of scope blocks. And yeah, so that's kind of why you'd want those. There's also other reasons as well, but that's for Silk Touch. For Fortune, again, of course, pickaxe, obvious. Axe, not obvious. There's not really a big use for Fortune on an axe. Fortune on a shovel is for gravel mostly, so also not that important. But Fortune on a hoe is kind of important, because then you can get lots of saplings from trees, and if you're doing, let's say, jungle tree farming, really important to have that. You always want to have as many sort of jungle saplings as possible. Jungle saplings are actually one of my favorite items, probably just because they're so rare, but I really enjoy them. I love their texture. I love how they make giant jungle trees. I love the jungle trees that there is. Of course, the jungle itself is one of my favorite biomes, but I'm getting some great work done here too, which is awesome. Yeah, that's kind of that. I actually forgot what the original question was. I'll go to sleep here real quick and we'll answer some more questions. Silk Touch for melon. Oh, that's true, actually, yeah. So Silk Touch axe, yeah, that's true for melons. I didn't think of that one. I guess for me, usually I have an automatic pumpkin and melon farm. So yeah, for manual pumpkin farming, oh, that is technically true, yes. Silk Touch axe for that. Yeah, not really for Fortune. I guess Fortune technically on the melons too, but then, you know, it's stupid because there's no point of doing that. Oh my goodness, this is me crouching here. I forgot how fast the crouch is. That's so cool. I'm actually really glad I put that Swift Sneak on there. And if you're wondering how I got that, it's because I raided ancient cities. And if you want to see that, you'll have to go back into the stream playlist, which this is also part of. It should be on my playlists page of my channel. A lot of people have been seeing my old shorts, which is unfortunate because they're not very good. I should make some new shorts, but it's because in Minecraft, or in YouTube, of course, YouTube Shorts, their new sort of TikTok thing, basically. I'm sure they don't want to think of it like that, but it is what it is. Of course, now in a separate tab, so now people see all those sort of recommended a lot, but it's not really, if anyone's seen mine, which I'm sure a lot of people have, you'll see they're definitely not to my current level of quality at all. And I might unlist them, but I do tend to not like unlisting things, since I think that it's good to be honest about what I've made and where I've gone. So there's that. Let's see, what's your favorite Minecraft client to use? Well, I just use the standard Minecraft launcher. In terms of like yeah, I don't use a modded client, although I have heard that, I've heard Lunar Client's good. Again, like I said, I'm not good at PvP. That's one of the big things. Well, I'm not bad at PvP, but I'm not like a real pro at it, and that's something I want to improve. I was thinking maybe a video on that, sort of becoming better at PvP and training with that. So I'm sure if I was more interested in 1.8 PvP, I'd be more interested in clients as well. But yeah, I do just play the standard launcher. I know multi-craft, there's other reasons to have clients than just PvP, of course, but yeah, from what I've heard the Lunar Client's good. I wouldn't actually know, but yes, and I know there's also like Badline and a couple other ones as well. There's actually a lot of them, but in terms of like really big ones, there's only some. Someone said, ever played with texture packs? No, not really. I don't really like texture packs. To me, I always like playing the game as vanilla as possible. The only real thing I'll do that's not vanilla is I'll use like this thing called replay mod, which is like basically a movie making mod. I use it for my videos quite a bit. That's actually why I have this start recording button right here. And yeah, but basically, other than that, and other than like Optifine or Sodium or like a visual mod, when Optifine isn't even working right now, I definitely play fully vanilla, including, let's say, texture packs. Although I could, just for the sake of interest, turn on the old, I use this for videos sometimes, the programmer art, and I think I have to go like this. There we go. And we can see this in, we'll go back in time here. This is back in time. Oh, this is weird. Oh, it's always so weird turning on the programmer. You're like, looks like 1.13 or before, of course. And mismatches now too, of course, because we have like the new texture. You know, there's no new old texture for raw iron. So we have like the coal that looks like all kind of smaller and strange. We have like the new stuff. Like look how weird the old emerald ore looked like. I mean, obviously I remember what it looks like. You know, I've seen these textures for longer than I've seen the new ones, but it's the old gravel was very, that was a really iconic one that very much changed. Like the gravel was just really just like a smaller cobblestone. So that's kind of a funny thing. Even like the diamond tools and stuff are slightly changed. And like everything looks kind of a little bit less sort of warm. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, kind of like that. I would prefer the new textures. Like even like the old baked, like a couple I like better. Like the old baked potato looks kind of cool actually. I kind of like that one better. But yeah, most of them are like that. And we have video, no resource packs. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Some so to switch back. Of course, glass is so different. Kind of interesting for sure. Then we have that. What's the best pet mob to have in terms of functionality? Very likely dog. I'll go over the functionalities though. So basically, dog will fight things for you, or wolf, I guess. The cat will give you items if it's sitting up when you're sleeping. That's really important. Make sure it's not sitting. But if it's able to walk, then it'll give you items. You have to watch our pickaxe durability too. And then also, of course, we have parrot. The parrot is kind of useless, but it will alert you to mobs that are nearby. It'll make sort of sounds like a creeper sound that just higher pitched and stuff. So that one's somewhat useful. It's funny because it never sort of imitates the player, but I guess the player doesn't really have a voice. It'd be kind of funny if there was like a really small chance who would maybe have a high-pitched voice of that old sort of Steve getting hurt sound, like the ooh or whatever it is, like that kind of funny sound that Steve used to make when they were hurt. It'd be kind of funny if it did that as an Easter egg, but yeah, so that's parrots. And then of course we have like technically like a horse is kind of like a pet, you know. And so obviously that's kind of useful, it's functional. But yeah, like in terms of just standard pets, really, you know, there's not a whole lot. And things like axolotls too kind of can be a pet, not in the standard sense, but in a way. So for instance, with axolotls, they will fight hostile ocean mobs for you. They'll give you regeneration. These are good things. They're just obviously not always super useful. That would be what I would say in terms of, you know, things to consider when looking for what pet you'd want to get inside of Minecraft. Someone said you should give your parrot a cookie. You definitely should not. Actually, that's an interesting thing about parrots is they teach people about parrots in real life. So in real life, parrots, just like dogs, cannot have chocolate. It'll kill them, or, you know, at least get them very, very hurt, or like, you know, horrible indigestion at the very, very least. But yeah, basically always will kill them, unfortunately. And so in Minecraft, developers did not realize that. So what they did is they thought that, you know, people always say, like with parrots, like the pirate thing, like, you know, Polly wants a cracker or whatever, right? So the idea would be that, you know, the parrot would want like a cracker, and obviously there was no cracker inside of Minecraft. And so what they did is they thought, well, cookies are kind of similar to crackers, right? So you could have, you know, cookies be the food for parrots. But what happened, and it's horrible, is they actually had people writing in because people were feeding their parrots cookies, and the poor parrots were getting hurt or dying. And so this was still in the snapshots, and so they changed it to seeds, because, you know, parrots like seeds, of course. They're birds. Most birds like seeds, and just eat seeds like a chicken or something. And but of course they had to keep in something about reminding people not to feed their parrots cookies anymore. So now there's a feature, if you right click on a parrot with a cookie, no joke, it will instantly die, like just keel over, just dead, instantly dead. It's horrible. But yeah, if you right click on a parrot with a cookie, that's what happens. You have to be really careful about that. And it's funny because a joke is that on I think it's Bing. It's one of these strange search engines. If you look up what do you feed parrots in Minecraft, it'll say cookies. It'll confuse people. And I'm sure lots of people have lost parrots in their games before because of that. And parrots are really rare, actually. They will only generate like a mob would, like an ocelot, let's say, or maybe like a cow. So it will not, they're not breedable, basically. That's the right way of putting it. They're not able to be bred. And so basically what you'll get is you'll have to look through jungles, find all the parrots, and then just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and hope a super, super rare chance of a parrot spawning will happen again. And so because there's no way to breed them, I don't know why there isn't, but there's not, then you have to be sort of, they're more valuable that way. And we have a someone who joined the iSquad, and that was Landon. So thank you to Landon for joining the iSquad. Hopefully you enjoy all of the other, all the benefits of that. And of course, like we were saying earlier, if you do link your Discord to your YouTube, and it might be already, then you will get that VIP area in the Discord, which is pretty cool. We're sort of mining through things pretty quick here, which is cool. I think what we'll do is we'll actually fly up a bit and we'll take a look and kind of see like what our progress is looking like. We'll do that. Someone said, what about using your allies to gather all that stone? I did think of that. So technically what we could do is we could have a hopper note block chest system. That would basically be an ally sort of like place for it to put items. The problem with that is that it's actually a bit too much effort for what it's worth, because of course you need a lot of allies, and we do have a lot of them. So we could technically use them. But yeah, we'd have to basically set that up correctly. They also only go within 30 blocks of it. But it's not a bad idea. I thought of it earlier actually as well. Kind of interesting using the allays for that, or the allays, or however you say it. I think it's allay. I'm not actually 100% sure. Same with like Elytra or Elytra or Elytra or all these things. I think like technically Elytra is the right thing, but like that just sounds weird. So I don't know. But yeah, they could definitely use those. Someone said what are any tips I have for getting a Minecraft YouTube channel started? I have quite a few tips for that, because I posted about 300 videos before I was monetized in any way, you know, making this be like a job. Although I was certainly not making a lot at first. I made like $2 a day or something at first, because I was getting like 1,000 views or something. But basically, the tips I would give are to be consistent, to never stop posting, to not allow yourself to have more than, let's say, 2 weeks pass without posting a video. Even then, that's probably too long. And just consistency is everything, basically, because you're not going to start out perfect. You're going to probably start out pretty terrible, because that's what I started out as, you know, and I'm doing decently well now, I'd hope. But it's good to be terrible at first, because if you're not, then you'll never learn. And if you do get, you know, sort of lucky success, you'll not really know why you were successful. So it's almost better to fail than to be lucky, because again, then you'll kind of know exactly like the formula for succeeding. And it's really a formula that's has to be kind of discovered, but there's that. And also, of course, as some general tricks, try and make things that are popular already. You know, like my mining guide and netherite guide are the most popular, because those are the most popular things that people want to know about. You know, more people want to know about netherite than want to know about dyes. Just, it makes sense, of course. And so because of that, that video will just naturally do better. And of course, by using that same idea, you could, let's say, you know, make videos on a new trend or on a recent thing that's popular. That would be kind of some ways of trying to get out there a little bit. Someone said, how did I get my diamond tools? Well, these ones were crafted. They're not from villagers. Of course, normally from villagers is always the best idea. But we do not have that right now. So I crafted them. We do have a lot of them. I crafted. Just thought about that statement. iCraft said that I crafted them. It's funny. Anyway, yeah, basically, of course, I made these, and we have that. Now, both these are almost broken again. Unfortunately, we're also like out of room, basically. We have a lot of stuff here. Let's grab all the coal and all the iron. We'll use those. or later. I'll kind of clear out that. Of course, the stone we might use for the base. Stone's a bit cheap looking sometimes, depending. We may use some stone bricks here and there for like a foundation. It will, of course, blend in a lot with the rest of the things. There's so many ores here if we actually wanted to collect them, which I don't really have a desire to, but we could. Now let's take a little fly around. Let's take a look at what is around us. I think we have, yeah, there's more of our stuff here. We'll grab that. Let's raise our render distance, might lower the frames for a minute, that's okay. And then we'll take a look at this from above, and the frames are horrible. And yeah, we'll go to above there, and then we'll take a look at the progress we've made. So we'll do that. Fly up here, again, a little bit further, and I will take this off, and then we have that. So that's looking awesome. We've actually gotten a lot done because we just have to get down there. So we're really, really getting some stuff done. We just have this little hill over here. I'd say we're at least halfway done, which is really good because we've probably only been doing this for like an hour across both things. So that's really good. And yeah, I'll turn the render back down since I think frames are a bit more important right now. And we'll fly back, I guess, which is this way, which I think I remember it pretty well. And we'll go, of course, up here, and it's on this. Technically, this mountain actually connects there, so we could make like a cool bridge maybe from our old base to our new base eventually. We should also craft some more firework rockets in a minute here. But basically, I guess it's actually time to go back down and mend these again, which is a little annoying, but it is what it is. We're just going to do the deadly drop of not necessarily a best idea. We'll fly down here, and we'll go down here again. Actually, I should have brought some torches. That would have been smart this time, for sure. Someone said, is this a terraformed mountain? It is not. Well, the one that's flat, of course, we're excavating the stone. But no, these massive mountains are all natural. We haven't done that much. I mean, I'd be amazed if we could have transformed that mountain. But yeah, no, that's fully natural. Just an amazing seed. I keep saying I'll share the seed, actually. I should really just do that. Maybe I'll announce it on my Discord. In fact, yeah, we'll do that. So if you want to know what the seed is, you have to join my Discord. I'll do an announcement for that after the stream, why not? Speaking of my Discord, by the way, we're doing a server-wide selfie, which will be really cool. Or not, well, not server-wide, but on the SMP, which is through play.eyecraftmc.com, you can join, if you haven't already, for a sort of finale for season 1, which is going to be a server-wide selfie, and I'll be there, and we'll just be sort of all there, having a bit of fun and enjoying the last few days as I'm getting a brand new world on the season 2 of the SMP, of the Eyecraftmc SMP, and that will be, I think December 3rd, might be the 4th, I think it's the 3rd though, and then the end of season 1 will be the very last day of this month. So if you want to kind of take a look at what the season looked like, kind of explore everyone's builds, of course still being aware that this is an actively played world, you can't steal or anything, or grief, but you can take a look at everything, and yeah, just kind of get a final look of that. Yeah, what I'll do is I will announce right after the stream the worst seed of this world, and then if you want to know that, you can take a look and sort of explore around these mountains for yourself. Since of course I didn't share it because, you know, people will sometimes sort of like to spoil things that are around here, but I think that we're doing pretty good. We've gotten a lot of stuff done, so there's not too much of an issue with anything like that. Is this actually the silk one? It is. It's getting so dark. We need to find a torch to sort of transplant that. I'll put that over here. There we go. And we can break this. And yeah, just sort of clear out this whole area. And we'll go through here. Now, oh, and there was a shrieker. Oh, yes. There we go. We've scared the warden, or we've kind of have... See, it's funny because we are kind of the ones scaring the warden in a sense, right? Because it's like the warden's trying to protect something from us. Who knows what it is, really? So it's like, you know, I guess the good thing to think if you're scared of the warden is really it's scared of you. It's kind of trying to find you out. It's sort of, you know, it's brave, I guess, but it is pretty scared. We'll go through here. We're almost at, we're about 50%, right? Yeah, that's looking good. Someone said, have I chosen a seed for the new season? I have, mostly. I have about 3 ones. I'm narrowing it down as we speak. Not as we speak, but, you know, in general. We have, the hint is that, so one's an archipelago. It's like a bunch of islands. One of them is like this really cool mega taiga and snowy biome. And of course other stuff that's also on a big island. And the third one is like a mangrove swamp on an island. So they're all going to be really cool. I'm not sure which one we should do. Of course, they'll have pros and cons, and we'll only pick one. But whatever one we pick, we'll keep that for about a year, I'm thinking at least. So Season 2 will be hopefully at least a year. I want to make these things go really long term. We're going to have kind of slightly harsher rules in terms of, you know, old bases that have been abandoned for months and months, you know. We want the server to be very active and sort of stay active for a long time and be a lot of people playing survival Minecraft at the same time. There's a lot less sort of mass player base SMP experiences than you would think, a lot less. And so if you're interested in joining one that's actually actively moderated, and one that is safe from griefers, and of course is part of my community, then feel free to join that, or tell your friends to join it even. I'll go through here and mind this, but it is December 3rd, which is exactly a week from now, I believe. And we'll have a live streamed event of sort of starting the world, and I'll be playing survival on there. Should be quite fun. Yeah, we'll kind of just enjoy that as that happens. Someone says, how do you join the server? So you want to basically go on you want to go to multiplayer, add server, add play.eyecraftmc.com, like that. If you're on Bedrock, there's a port that's on my Discord. Once you've done that, then you'll have to be whitelisted. The reason why you want to join first is that there's actually like a link directly to the Discord on play.eyecraftmc.com. You then want to go to the area where you can choose your roles, choose the role of SMP member, go to the area where you put your username, put it in, make sure to say if you're Bedrock or Java, then you can join that, and there is some info sections, and we talk about the port and all that, and you can actually see me on there literally right after the stream, and I can, yes, we'll get a screenshot. You'll be in a screenshot with iCraftMC if you want to join that, I guess about noon PST, about 3 EST, so because the stream will end about 10 minutes here, so we'll get that. But we'll have some more exciting things going, so don't leave just yet. I hate saying the stream will end because everyone's just like, oh, it's done, I'll leave. There's actually some good stuff we'll do. That. Like, for instance, the amazingly exciting fact of mining redstone. We actually do need redstone. There's a lot here. I was talking in a video earlier about how redstone is not influenced by air exposure. And so because of that, we can actually find a lot of it. And it's just crazy how fast we're going with the Swift Sneak. I like we're on ice or something. It's like, just look at this. It's like so weird. It looks like unnatural. Like I have like this, especially if we kind of go around corners, it's like so fast. It's so weird looking. Oh well, it's kind of fun though. And we can of course mine all this out and get ourselves tons of redstone, because that'll give us XP too. Probably not as much as the skulk, but it is still here. It is still giving us some XP. Redstone's a great building block. A lot of people don't use redstone, but it's really good stuff. Oh, it's so fast. And yeah, we can kind of use that as well and get ourselves up to a good amount of levels through there. Now, of course, we're technically taking durability from our pickaxe. That is so weird. I just can't believe how incredibly fast that seems with the Swift Sneak there. It's definitely swift, especially at level 3. Almost want to have 2 pairs of leggings, one with Swift Sneak, one without, because of course then we would have the ability to not go as fast if we don't want to. Now there's some more XP here. We'll go back to just mining the skulk, because it's probably quickest. Need to find some more though. We could do the stuff on the roof. It tends to be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more annoying. And now there was a big pile of skulk I ran into over here. There's a shrieker there too, actually. So if we head to where the shrieker was, which I think was this direction, we've mined out a lot of this. We can try and find that. Here's a lot of XP just sitting here. Actually, I don't know what this is from. Maybe from earlier, I'm not sure. Yeah, here we go. Here's an unmined area. We'll just again grab that torch, place it like down here. Hopefully there's no shriekers. If there is, whatever. Don't see any though. Probably is one in here actually, because it's completely unlit. We'll go through here and we'll mine all this out. This is where we get the insane XP, just the absolute massive amount of speed of XP gaining right here. Completely crazy. The deep dark mining is definitely worth it. Again, obviously compared to an Enderman farm, it's nothing. We do not currently have an Enderman farm, although we will have one soon, and we'll probably build that as well as more automatic farms. I may do some episodes where we, let's say, do automatic farms here and there, and we can sort of all AFK at them, of course, not on the stream. We're not going to stream the AFK, that would be hilarious, but we're not going to. And not sure for the shriekers. So crazy, so sneak. This is so useful in the deep dark. I cannot believe how useful this is. I've used it before, I just forgot how just amazing this is. But yeah, basically we can do that. And I don't see any shriekers, so this is probably a good place to mine. Again, kind of dark, kind of dim, but whatever, we'll go through here. I don't really care about saving the catalysts, honestly, either. If we need more deep dark blocks, we can just get those later. So we'll go through here, we'll mine all this, we'll mend up this other tool, which should be good. And we'll kind of get this big wall of skulk. There's the lava, we can mine near the lava so we can see better, although we have to be careful, of course, of the lava, as that's going to be fairly dangerous, well, very dangerous, not fairly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous if we're not careful. Lava is quite a dangerous thing, and we actually still have that fire resistance, which is good. So if we fall into the lava, which I doubt we will, but if we do, then we're going to still be good for that. And of course we can go over here, we can mine a whole bunch of these blocks and get ourselves the rest of the XP we need. And there's a huge field of the skulk down here. It's hard to see it. So it's hard for me to see it too. Sorry about everyone on the stream there. We'll try and walk back to where we were. We'll just grab these XP orbs down and we'll go to a lighter area so we can see a bit more on the stream. I think this is, actually I think we must have swift sneak pretty far away because I cannot see the way back. And there's could definitely be shriekers here. It must be this way. Oh, there's a shrieker right there. Look at that. It's a shrieker, a real one. Let's mine it with Silk Touch. And there we go. Easy does it, but we got it. And we'll kind of mine through here a little bit. We're almost... Oh, there's another shrieker. So now we're running level 2. Probably should be slightly more careful now, to be honest. Running level 2 is fairly dangerous. It seems like the sounds kind of slow down, have weird effects when it's at warning level 2, which is funny. Let's try and get back, though. I cannot see a thing. There we go. I think... So we're mining here. So the way back... Oh, probably through here. There we go. There's a torch. That's going to be the way back, right? There we go. We're still pretty far out. These are some huge caves, and it's awesome to have these. I mean, it's all about being underneath a mountain biome. So if you're wondering, like, you know, I play 1.19, why aren't I finding deep dark? Well, you want to be in an area below low erosion. So low erosion means high mountains. High erosion means low mountains. That's a good way of thinking of it. And so because of that, if you're in an area where even like, let's say a plains biome that's a very high up mountain, it's all about the Y level, right? So if there's of course a literal mountain biome, that's going to be the best. But if there's something as simple as just some, you know, meadow biome that's really high up or something like that, that's also a really, really good place, really good opportunity to find underneath that a whole lot of the deep dark. And of course with deep dark also comes sometimes, not always, the ancient city. Ancient cities are probably too common. They're so common inside of Deep Dark. Generally, like even here, they're actually quite common. And yeah, like I think there's like about 20 ancient cities inside of this little mountain range. So we'll definitely have to do some episodes just raiding those. And we're getting so close and we're done. That's awesome. So we will head back. We now have 2 fully mended, well, I guess not fully mended, the Silk Touch one's a bit low. I guess we'll finish this one too, but we have 2 almost fully mended pickaxes. We have like completely cleared the walls here of the skulk. Pretty soon it'll be hard to tell it even ever was a deep dark biome. It's kind of funny we can like untrap the gravel there from the skulk. It's like the skulk kind of grew around the gravel, which is quite funny. Well, it's not that funny, I mean, it's just gravel, but you know, it's kind of funny. We'll go over here and we'll finish this up. Now we'll go this way, and someone said I deserve more subs than Waddles. I'll not comment on that one, but you can probably guess my opinion on that. We'll go over here and mine some of these skulk blocks, and we can finish up this Silk Touch one. So the Silk Touch one's at 1351, and 1351 is pretty good in terms of durability. We'll go this way. And actually, speaking of other Minecraft YouTubers that are in the same space, of course there is Waddles. Nothing wrong with Waddles at all, just obviously kind of a competitor. Not really. There's not really any... I mean, there's kind of competitors, not really. I think people can watch whoever they want, and if someone enjoys me, cool. If someone enjoys Waddles more than me, cool. You know, I think it's all up to choice. But obviously Waddles is definitely a different style than I am. There's also, you know, Skip the Tutorial, there's Shulkercraft, there's all kinds of them. I'm just happy to be kind of one of them in the sense that, you know, I get similar view counts to some of these people. Maybe not to Skip the Tutorial, but to maybe, let's say, Waddles is somewhat similar. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty recent, so I'm really glad that some people enjoy my content inside of the sort of Minecraft tutorial space. And I'm sure most people don't even think of things that way. They're just watching my videos because they want to know the info and they want to learn more about the game. But whatever you watch for, I am very thankful for the opportunity I have through my channel. Now we're at Wonder Level 2 as well, still. So we still have to be very careful. And this pickaxe is now mended, so finally we can get out of the dark, the dim, probably damp, if we're being honest with ourselves, deep dark biome, and go back to the overworld where it's nice and cold on our mountaintop. And I think the entrance is just over here, hopefully. We'll find out. I think, no, it's not. Okay, so maybe it is. Take a look. No, it's not. This goes a different area. That kind of goes out of the deep dark, so that might be very far. Someone said, why not both? Well, why not both? Exactly, right? I know a lot of my viewers do watch Waddles, and like I said, I have absolutely nothing against Waddles at all. But yeah, there's always lots of content. You know, there's videos I haven't made that he's made, there's videos he hasn't made I've made, vice versa. And that's the same with all the different ones. I mean, there's even like, you know, Avomance and Ray's and Stingray Productions, and what are the other ones? What are their names? Silent Whisperers one, and JC Plays. There's all kinds of them, but either way, no more plugging my competition. This is the end of this stream. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to press the like button. Really, it honestly matters a lot. Thank you. If you're watching this live, which you're probably not, but if you are, join me live in like 2 minutes here on my SMP, play.eyecraftmc.com. If you want to be whitelisted, put your name under poster username, get a screenshot with me. I'll be there for the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. And also on my Discord, I'll be posting the seed, which I'll do by typing in /seed. Oh, you'd find out, but no, you have to be on the Discord to find out. So join the Discord. There's links there too. I'll see you in the next stream, and I hope you have a great day. I also realize the music has been off for how long, I don't know. Oh well, either way, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.